What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Dave Knows Wrestling live stream. I'm your host, David Lee. All right, so what is going on, everybody? Hope those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving had a happy Thanksgiving. And thank you for being on today. Hey, what's up, TJ Fritz? Good to have you, especially since today's going to be... Oh, how's the day been? Day's been good. Day's been good. I mean, my horse died in Red Dead Redemption, but, you know, gotta move on. My Thanksgiving was good, Joshua. Hey, thank you for wishing me a happy holiday, and same to you as well. Hoping yours was good. How was yours? Hey, Andy JT Aaron, good to see ya. Degenerate. Hey, Dave is. Hey, Degenerate is. Hey, finally made a stream. Yes, Carl. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the live stream of the Know-It-All Nation. Evil Cody Omega, what's going on? Favorite Red Hot Chili Pepper song? Gotta go with Under the Bridge. Hello? This is Midarty. What's up? Sorry to hear that. Yeah, it was my own dumbass fault. I threw a stick of dynamite for well, I didn't throw it far enough, and I just wanted to see if something would blow up. Turns out the remains of a legendary bison do not blow up after you skin it and throw dynamite at it. Found that out the hard way. Last 2 days have been awful constantly. Ooh. I'm sorry, man. Sick, TJ Fritz? Sounds like you need a little bit of a... Hope you get a doctor, at least. It's been a while. Yes, iTalki teacher. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you again. It's glad to see you back. What do you think of the comments made by the Savage Lars Sullivan, as in regarding what? No haircut. Same hair. Haven and Montana. And happy belated Thanksgiving to all of you. Hope everybody who celebrated had a good one. Draw Batman. Oh, wait, wrong stream. Yeah. My bad, Dave. No, that's cool. How long you see... how you see an LW? How? Through the computer? Logan Braun, too funny. Happy day after Thanksgiving. Yeah, this day. What's up, everybody? How's everyone's Thanksgiving? Good. How was yours? David was good. How many hours did it take you to... Oh, it took me 3 weeks of... I mean, I wasn't clocking, but yeah. Hey, Naheem, what's up? Triple H wife, Dave? Huh? AJ Envoy, hello. Big turnout. I'm liking it. So, all Elite Wrestling. Shh. That may not be a thing. Hope it's broadcast and production. I hope so, too. I think they're smart enough to know they don't want to alienate their fans, or there's a big wrestling fan base in England, so, like, why wouldn't you acknowledge them? You have just amazing edited videos, but you don't need it. Carry yourself off. Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. Thank you for the appreciation. Have you watched new series World of Sports? Yes. A lot of guys have sent me links to World of Sport now that it's back. Comments he made like 11 years ago about Lashley. No, I did not know about that. Those comments have to do with the... sessions and please my advice from public presentations day. What? How to do dissertation presentation next week? Oh, you have to do a present. Any advice from public speaking presenters, Dave? Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to keep up with the chat, but it's moving by pretty fast, so I'm gonna have to move on. But hey to everybody, in case I missed, happy belated Thanksgiving, Stingray. Happy belated Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving to everybody. Presentations. Being confident in your skin, like practicing, look what you're talking about. Learn to express. Some people have blank, expressionless faces, which I typically do. So I'm turning it on when you see me emote. Make key points at different parts of the room. Speak, slow down, because everyone is talking faster than they think, especially when they're nervous. Know your material, but don't be afraid if you go off script. If you say something slightly different, it's okay. Just move forward. Don't let it beat you up. A lot of things like that. Studio looks empty without me there. Slam Sessions Network. Look at that, Albert. Yeah, closed. All closed today. So, got the door open. Do whatever I want. Nobody's here but me. Hey, Bill Wagner. Good afternoon. Can we just call Vince McMahon the new Al Davis? WWE would be better off Yeah, I don't argue with that. Did you know the Georgia Dome closed? I found that out. Goldberg won his first time. Yeah, the Georgia Dome was big. It was real big. Daniel Bryan, be great as a heel. What's World of Sport? World of Sport is a British television show. It used to be, a long time ago, it was a place where you could see professional wrestling in England, but then it got shut down, and now it just came back last year. So, a lot of people are very excited about that. And it's really good. Is it bad that I have an idea that... Wait, what? Okay. Is it bad that I have been a Miz fan since 2008? Not at all. Not at all. For the most part, Miz has always had a lot of potential. I think it's very clear, and I've been saying that for a very long time. I know he wasn't the most popular, but in a short amount of time, he did turn it around. He does have potential, and you just got to use it well. It's all Dave, all time today at the studio. That is it. Yeah. When do you think Cormier will beat Lesnar for a title? Don't know. Don't care. Even in the world of UFC, I don't care about Brock Lesnar at all. I think all possibility of me caring about anything Brock Lesnar does has been zapped. Dave, you hear about... Shh, AJ Envoy, we don't talk about that. Allegedly. Rumors. It's the quiet thing. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, there are rumors and trademarks being announced left and right. There are trademarks being claimed for All Elite Wrestling. There are rumors are circulating that members of New Japan Ring of Honor are not resigning, like Cody Omega, the Young Bucks, and so on. And there are also rumors that Chris Jericho, Jim Ross, and a lot of other people, Jim Ross and Chris Jericho has diminished any possible involvement or anything like that. But of course, why wouldn't they? But there's tons of speculation that there are many wrestlers out there looking to form a brand new promotion, and they have the backer of a major NFL owner, I believe, if I'm correctly. I don't know anything about the NFL. They have the backing of an NFL football team owner. I sound, I'm blatantly showing how little I know about football now, but they're having the backer of that to create a brand new wrestling promotion, and the rumored title is going to be All Elite Wrestling. And allegedly, they also have a couple other pay-per-view or show names, such as Tuesday Night Dynamite, Double or Nothing, which is something that has been teased as the follow-up to All In. Also, All Out Wrestling, and other things like that. No more missing. Okay, so yeah, there's rumors going around that this new promotion is coming out. So, be pretty cool. Dave, could you help sort me out with banner like yours? Carl, this is pretty easy. He's not here right now, but there is a gentleman, Double A, who is normally in the chat. I can't believe he's not here right now in the stream, but Double A, he actually designed the banners for all of my channels. So, you can just ask him. So, pretty easy to do. Aaron K. WrestleMania 9 is worse. Okay, what did I miss? WrestleMania 12 is just terrible. 12 is terrible. 9 is terrible. Which is more terrible? It's a good question. I'll just... I got nothing. 2019 was so... it's... Another Double A. Well, Aaron K, not the Double A we're talking about. Double A from the Howard Stern Show. No. Where's Double A? Yeah, I know. I want to praise William Regal, but I have no one to back me up. Yeah, what's going on, man? Like, where is he? Well, yeah, hang tight. I'm sure he will be in any moment now. So, Carl, I'm aspiring to become a YouTuber. Hey, well, congratulations. Hop on in. The water's warm. No Arn Anderson. No, hang tight. He should be here. Enjoy the chat while you're here, but yeah, he'll be around. Harry Flynn is here. Hey, I watched WrestleMania 22. It had 11 matches. Yeah, Dave can be a great modern Mean Gene. Cool, I'll take it. I don't have it on me right now, or else I would. Shake my head. What is wrong with the new Roman? Fans really can't stand it when a person's booked correctly. I don't think she is booked correctly. I think that's the thing. And I don't think Roman was booked correctly either. I think a lot of things, not due to Roman's fault, but I think Roman was booked incorrectly too. Which I think is a debate we can open up easily here. Dave, who is your main competitor. See, here's the thing about YouTube. YouTube really doesn't have. It's not a competitive nature. It's not like television broadcasts where you're competing at the same time slot or anything like that. YouTubers are generally, non-competitive because just because you watch this show doesn't mean you can't watch another show. Even with on-demand, regular terrestrial television is not like that anymore. But as you can see from my collaborations with Brian Zane, with Wrestling with Regret, and and all the collaborations he's done with everybody, we normally get along with each other. We just, hey, you want to do this? Hey, you want to do that? Like I've talked to WrestleMania. I've done conversations with other people. So it's, there's really, it's not a competitive field. It's not one of those things, again, and I can't stress this enough, in the very beginning of this channel, Ollie Davis from Wrestle Talk, he was responsible for getting me off the ground a little bit, so I always thank, Ollie Davis and Wrestle Talk, and as well as Brian Zane with Wrestling with Regret, who is a big reason why, a lot of the people came over. So it's not a competition. That's the cool thing about YouTube, is it's a non-competitive thing. Do your thing. And everyone else jumps on it too. Do your thing, and everyone else does their thing. Let's work together. It's a more collaborative effort. Is that what are you drinking? No, just regular water. If you have a wrestling promotion, who is your top heel and face? See, here's the thing. I'm not sure if I could take him as is, but I really like Bray Wyatt a lot. But my top heel would probably be Kevin Owens. Top face, it's a tough call because I really like Braun Strowman. And I don't know if I could 100% go with him if I have Kevin Owens, though. Part of me likes the idea of AJ, but I'm not 100% sold. You're due for an Adam Blumpy a heel turn. Oh, am I? Yes. I'm not 100% sold on AJ either, and especially since he's gotten a little old, because he's still active and he's still in great shape, but he's still, older. So, if I was starting my own promotion, I want some guy with some longevity, some guy that I know is going to be around for another 10 years easily at the top of his game. Maybe Finn. Yeah, I watched Dave going. Wrestle Talk is awesome too. Yeah, Dave, will you have a Discord? I still don't understand it. I'm trying to figure it out. Is the thing. Like, I'm not. And plus, Discord makes it seem like they only want gamer channels and stuff like that. They don't. I mean, maybe that's not true, but yeah, the Discord thing kind of. I don't know. If Dave turns heel, that would mean that I have to turn face, and no one wants that. No one wants that. Impossible. Whatever. Either way, Albert. Dave, did you ban Nikki Bella in chat last Monday? It could be the real her. I did, and no, it's not the real her. If it's If it's the real her, that's right. I am not a Gullah bull or even a Gullah calf. It's overrated. Brian was always kind of cheese. These guys who are naturally faces, Omega is such an Omega's. I kind of dogged that on Omega. I probably should have picked up on. I probably should have picked up on Kenny Omega as an answer. That's kind of on me. That's not a bad answer for a top face. Hi guys, love the show. One of my top 5. Hey, thank you. Something to believe in. Thank you. Albert Albanese is here. In the chat, he's not next to me or anything like that, so Albert, they're right there. Dave, if it was real Nikki Bella, then you regret rejecting her for the rest of your life. Yeah, well, based off of the things she was saying, if she really wanted to get a hold of me, banning her won't stop her. But yeah, right. Last Wednesday was Nikki Bella's birthday. Yeah, you mentioned. At least I think you mentioned. Kenny was generally a nice guy. Plus, he connects with the fans. Yeah, no, he's a. Yeah, no argument there. Dave, you sure this designer will be here? No, I'm not sure. It's just he normally is, so I can't see why he wouldn't be today. It'd be very odd for him not to be. And I believe he's from England, so it's not like he has that whole pesky Thanksgiving thing that the Americans have. So it's not like that's the reason why he won't be in today. So I expect him to be here. So no, I'm not sure, but I mean, you could message me on Twitter, worst come to worst, but either way, like I said, you could, and I'll try to relay the information, but either way, like I said, just, hang out here. I hope the chat's not killing you. I hope the stream's not killing you. I hope you're having a good time, worst ways in the world, worst things in the world to be doing right now than to be hanging out and talking with a bunch of wrestling fans, as far as I'm concerned. I am really Vince McMahon undercover. Man, you must have thick skin for all the crap we talk about you then, if you really are Vince McMahon. Guys, I was Nikki Bella. I know TJ Fritz. I know. I would pick Okada. I like Okada more than Kenny Omega. That's easy for me. The downside is that he doesn't speak English, and that's why if I was building a promotion, I would do it in America, and I would need him to speak English. That's number one. And if he does speak English, I had no idea. But, so I'm not like Vince McMahon where I don't believe it. Oh, dude, how could I forget this? Cesaro is also a big one. Kenny and Jericho, that was... Oh. See, Devin, I didn't hate it. I don't think it was awful, but I didn't love Kenny and Jericho, and I know a lot of people swear by it, but that's just me. So I'm not 100% with you, but I didn't think it was all that great. It was just 40 minutes of them just doing random spots back and forth with no cohesion, no selling, just one thing after the other. And I know, everyone says the story is that they want it so badly that they endure past everything. That's the Japanese fighting spirit. No, I know, I get it, I know, that's what they claim. But I think it's a bunch of nonsense. I think it's a bunch of anime nonsense. All right, no problem, bro. I'll hang on in chat and wait for him to come here. Yeah, like I said, hopefully he does. He hasn't missed a chat in forever. I can't even tell you when or if he's missed a chat since he came here in February. So if he misses this one, being not American, I'll be very surprised. Yeah, he's been here the whole time, quietly laying low. Not that it exposed the business like Cornette claims. Kenny wrestled 9-year girl. My concern was how an injury would have landed. Omega in hot water. Yeah, see, well, here's the thing. I did an episode where I talked about that match. It was one of the matches I talked about, that fans can debate. My thing is, I don't think he, sold for that girl. He rubbed his nose when he got hit, but he didn't, And, something you could argue he got knocked off his feet due to momentum, but it didn't make it seem like he was in pain from a child. The blow-up doll thing, there's no excusing. But that girl is very talented. I mean, I don't think she pursued a wrestling career, but she was very talented. So I thought it was cool she got a chance to showcase her skills. And my other thing is, it's the booker. Blame the guy who booked the match. Why are you blaming the wrestler? The wrestlers do things because... as wrestlers, they take whatever booking they can get. They do whatever the promoter tells them to most of the time. And the funny thing is, and if they don't, people complain about the guy. Omega Jericho's overrated. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Kenny Omega, I like Kenny Omega, I do, but there's just some things in his work that I'm not a fan of. However, if I was running my promotion, I would tell him, I want to see more of this from you. I want to see less of that. That's what I would do. Ooh, Velveteen Dream, that's a good answer. I completely dogged that. But again, he falls in the Bray Wyatt category because I would need to get him with that gimmick. And if I had my own promotion, I wouldn't get that. Sure, I could have a knockoff of Velveteen Dream where he's Purple Haze or whatever. But, the knockoff thing, you're setting yourself up for failure. As soon as you get a gimmick that's like this thing, but it's a lesser version, instantaneously, you're not going to do well with it. It's the same thing like Paul Heyman said. Accentuate the positives, hide the negatives. We don't have the budget for pyro, so why have cheap pyro that's not as good as WWF's and look bad? Instead, let's just not have pyro. And that's right, Double A is here! Hey, look, Double A! There's a man named Carl in the stream right now who would love to talk to you, Double A. So, Double A, we've all been waiting. Glad you're here. Double A, get in touch with Carl, unless he left already, which would be amazingly bad, perfect timing. Cedric Alexander. I think Velveteen Dream is using a Zoolander gimmick. Well, yeah, I mean, whatever. Call it what you want to call it. But as far as connection goes and actually drawing people, What? Did I miss? Yeah, Omega does a lot of goofy stuff in his facial expressions joke. Okay, yeah. Since NXT won't be in Brooklyn next year... Oh, do you think they will have TakeOver Starrcade instead? Whoa, yeah, well, no, I don't, but yeah, I could dream, can't I? Neville is a great heel. He surprised me because, when he was feuding with Sami Zayn in NXT, I mean, I've gotten this debate with my friend Sean because I say that was Neville as a heel, but he says that Neville wasn't really a heel. He was kind of a tweener at that stage. I think it was a heel. You guys, let me know what you think. But I say he was a heel, and I didn't like that heel turn, that heel Neville. I thought it was I just thought his Parts of storytelling were kind of weak. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I do like Neville, but I thought at that time his storytelling was a little weak. I viewed him as being a little spotty. I'm not going to call him a full-blown spot monkey, but he was spotty, at best. He had a little bit of spot nature to him, and certain things like storytelling and storytelling eluded him. For me. And I didn't like I didn't like that version of heel Neville. And the fact that it was unclear if he was heel or not, whether that was the direction he was told to go in or not, I was thinking is another problem for it. But I didn't like that. But then when he became the king of the cruiserweights and went heel Neville, then I thought he was amazing. I was like, wow, I didn't see this from this guy. I'm like, that is awesome. Neville's being a tweener. Yeah, okay. Apocalypse and Takeover Brooklyn's were overrated. Some yes, some no. Double A, give me your Twitter. Yeah, I don't know if you told him why, though, Carl, but Carl was looking to get some awesome banners like mine, and I told him, you, Double A, were the man to talk to because you are the reason why I have them. So I felt like Neville was on the verge of going heel, but I guess he backed off due to his actual call-up. Maybe. TJ Fritz, I'm thinking maybe Callahan was my top heel. Yeah, I'm a huge Kevin Owens fan, so Kevin Owens is a lock for my heel for sure because I love everything he can do. I think he's great on the microphone. I think he's a good ring worker. So yeah, yo Dave, appreciate the shout out, my man. No problem. Spin the wheel, make a deal. Take a Harry makes better banners. Oh, do you now? Yeah. The top face is hard. It's hard to choose though, because I don't think we have that guy. I think we have a lot of guys who are close, but we don't have somebody that screams top face to me yet. There's a lot of guys who are very close. I think Owens is back babyface. Yeah, that's a possibility, but I prefer him as a heel. I mean, we'll wait to see, but how Kevin Owens, not Kevin Steen, but Kevin Owens pulls off a face run. I mean, I'm hoping for it too, but if it was my own promotion, I would have him as my top heel. See, give it a chance, man. I mean, that's the thing, Kevin Owens, I think one thing that's going on that's pretty good right now, and even though some people are kind of complaining about it with Charlotte, is I think WWE figured out a pretty simple formula, and I think it took them a very bizarrely long time considering the fact that they have really pretty much perfected the game, is that people like badasses. It's not complicated. Austin, Piper was a super heel, but he was also that kind of, he was all that anti-hero kind of babyface when he turned babyface, still pushing the borders and stuff like that. That's the kind of, it's wrestling. We like guys who can fight, so we're gonna like badasses. That's what it is. You're supposed to be that way. With Becky's heel turn, I think it woke them up. Braun Strowman. The reason why Braun Strowman's over is because he does badass things. He's tipping over trucks and all that stuff like that. And it's cool. Becky Lynch, this is what we want. We want people with that killer instinct, that fighting spirit. We want people like that, and Owens can pull that off. Dean Ambrose is pretty good at pulling that off. I don't think they gave him a lot to work with, but I think if given the right situation, they had that. And it's like people were complaining that Charlotte Flair, the fans were fickle. They were booing her. Don't you get it? They changed her personality. They changed it to something people like. That's why they cheered her. They're not cheering her because fans are idiots. Fans like what they like. And when you change things, they change too. Craziness. Dave, are you sure that you sure this is the best guy you said you like my banners? He made my banners. You asked me a question? That's my answer. You asked me who made them? You said you liked them. You want manners like mine? Well, you're not going to get... It's going to be harder to get more like mine than to go with the guy who made them. Yes, Zacharo, thank you. That's pretty much it. Becky was never... No, she wasn't, but I'm just saying the attempt at a turn on a heel. Some fans are idiots. Yeah, Albert, and some are. WWE are so inept right now. All they know is heat. Yeah. An upper mid Carter heel for me would be Hernandez if he was younger. If. Details there. Many people are being wasted in WWE minus a handful. Yeah, no, that's definitely true. take over and smack him away. That'd be great. That'd be great, Harry Flynn. Gotta draw heat, brother. That's the only thing that works, which is stupid. It's stupid. What do you mean by it's the only thing that works? Because I don't think it's just WWE lost their way in common sense. Carl is confused. NXT TakeOver, Carl is confused. Naheem, I agree. I love Dave Vanners. I saw... Shush. What if Roman Reigns turns heel for his return? See, that's my thing. I don't think that matters. People think that they're going to cheer him just because he's heel. People aren't being obstinate. I've talked about this multiple times with Roman Reigns. You know, this wasn't happening all the time, but his motivations weren't known to the audience. They didn't give you a reason other than because. And, you know, he didn't really acknowledge the crowd all that much. You know, he doesn't have a wide plethora of moves that people like seeing, so why were they going to cheer for him? They didn't do anything in the ring that they loved looking at. It's not like he did something awe-inspiring that they can't get somewhere else, you know, that they're like, ooh, like, you know, when Neville does the red arrow, it's like, cool, you know, and he stopped doing it when he turned heel. Like, he slowed it down because people pop for that, because it's impressive. You know, he didn't do a lot of these things. You know, he didn't have a wide variety. He just did a lot of punches mostly. But then, when he said Brock Lesnar is just a part-time bitch, and that, hey, love me or hate me, I'm going to be a defending champion. I'll be here every week, and the people deserve better than you. And then, you know, it's like people start chanting in that episode of Monday Night Raw. They start chanting, we want Roman. Why? Because they gave him just a little bit of motivation. He was acknowledging the crowd, and we knew where it was coming from. It doesn't take a whole lot. The point is, this is how you book a babyface. It's just plain and simple, and they just don't understand it. Becky Lynch, we're talking about Becky Lynch now. Like, this is the first time she's been pushed like ever. We forget that she was the first ever women's SmackDown champion, and that run was lackluster. It was boring. It was fueled by nothing. She won it. Awesome. She didn't get in an NXT. Good for you. You finally got it. Then after that, nothing. It fell flat. Boring. But now, she's got a motivation. She wants to be the best. She has the strap. She wants to prove she's the best. And she hates people like Charlotte. Awesome, and we cheer her. There's a big difference between those two runs. And people like Becky Lynch, that first run, but they like her more now and forgot about that first run because this one's being presented better. I believe you, but you better give me something. Uh-oh, Dave's exposing the business. Here I go again. You're not. Hey, Jenna. I think it's more of a problem that every character is the same. Every character, yeah, and there is a similarity. And don't get me wrong, I don't want every character to be Becky Lynch. I don't want every character to be like this new Stone Cold character. But you know, because this will get played out very quickly, just like the formula of feud with Vince McMahon, that'll get you over. They played that out way too much. Heel authority figure, played that out way too much. But it's just an example of something that does work. You know, we want to have a certain badassery level to our characters. Even they don't have to be, you know, smashing it up anti-hero Becky Lynch style, but they can be characters that, you know, we want to see win. You know, Ronda. You know, I have an episode coming out where I want to talk about this a little bit more. But Ronda, you know, it's the build towards it. We haven't gotten any. Like, you know, what's her motivations? And, you know, we don't know them. You know, I'm not hating on Ronda. I don't think she's like the worst thing. And, you know, her match against Charlotte Survivor Series was good. But I'm not loving her run because I mean, there's several things. Number one, look, I understand that it's a great honor and a sign of respect and everything from Piper, but she got to get her own shtick. Okay, she's got to stop. I mean, it is like dripping with the Piper stuff. Like, you know, the skirt thing that she's wearing that looks like a kilt, the leather jacket and the shirt and the graphics. Like, it's everything except the theme song. It's like, tone it down, girl. You're not Piper. If it'd be one thing if you were his daughter or something, but even like Natty doesn't, like Natty's gimmick is pretty Hart-esque, pretty, you know, reminiscent of the Anvil and all that, but it's not as much, it's not as obvious, it's not nowhere near as obvious as Ronda's is, in my opinion, because Ronda doesn't have the song, and that's about it. Natty has the song, but it's a remix, but, you know, and she has the, you know, but she has the pink flag, you know, the pink and black color scheme, but, like, it's like the font's different, you know, stuff like that. And that is her dad, you know, and so that's my point. So I think Ronda's got to find her own path, like really slow it down with the Piper thing. And, like, I love Piper. Huge Piper fan. My dad's favorite wrestler. It might be Roddy Piper. Piper is definitely up there for my dad. So it's like, I got no problem with Piper. I'm just saying, yo, seriously, like, Ronda, back it down. You know, get your own thing. Matt Riddle versus Brock Lesnar. I think if Matt Riddle walks out of that match, he is going to need to violate the crap out of the wellness policy in order to feel okay following that. Daniel Bryan turned heel. What kind of world do we live in? EJK, allegedly that's what he wanted. And, you know, he's been heel before. It's weird, but yeah. Bryce, no offense to Becky, she's super cool and badass, but say she's like Austin. It is a bit of a stretch, but it's something, I'm not saying that, but people are saying that. And when I say people are saying, because there's been an internet thing calling her Stone Cold Becky Lynch, my thing is, it's just that she's being a badass, which is awesome. And that's what I'm talking about. Ronda Becky eventually leads a horse. That I'm looking forward to. Hey, Andre, what's going on? Happy belated Thanksgiving. My favorite. Well, EJK, it's been a rough time for you then, if that's your favorite wrestler. New Daniel Bryan. Dave, what colors would you have for your wrestling promotion? Red. I don't know. I'm a primary colored kind of guy. I mean, as you can see from this channel, it's red and gray, and then for the comic book channel, it's black and blue, or it's blue and black. I don't know. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you did as well. Bada boom, dumbest security in the room. Everyone picks on the security for that. I was saying this. I was getting this conversation on Twitter. It was like, what do you think? Like, WWE Security is like all seeing, all knowing. It's like, okay, and they're like, oh, that wig was so bad. I can't believe someone walked in. Do you have any idea how many guys, wrestling fans, especially from like the olden times, have bad wigs and they walk in? And you think that security guards at the Staples Center know or care who Enzo Amore is? These guys work security. They're just checking thousands of people in. Just, here's your ticket. Good, get in. Dave, who's your wrestling? What? I don't know what a waifu is. To be honest, despite her winning and crying on YouTube, I feeling like this tweener Becky Lynch character, her promos got way better. No, they did get much better. Guys, there's only 80% off on the signs this weekend only. Oh, look at you. The security guard was a bit overzealous. You know, like, yeah, well, taking Enzo out, yeah. And for me, and like, you know, so like, yeah, people are talking about the security guard. I'm like, what do you want from them? Like, you think every Staples, you think that their Staples Center's security guard, you think they're all wrestling fans? Because I'm pretty sure most of them aren't. Because I feel like most people in the world aren't wrestling fans. Period. You know, we are, but that doesn't mean everybody is. And also, like, well, the WWE should have been watching. Why? What do you think? WWE has drones and security cameras everywhere? You think Vince McMahon is sitting there like, you know, Supreme Chancellor Susan for V for Vendetta? That's from the comic book, not the movie. And keeping an eye on everything? Like, that's not how it works. Waifu is what fans of anime used to call characters or pictures or what? Wife/crush. Waifu sounds way harder than just crush. That seems to, I don't even remember the question. What's my, wait. In wrestling, I think it's obvious it's Alexa Bliss for me. I think, but if that was the question, because I'm not even sure I understand anymore. My friend, I can have an 80% sale if you're interested in me. Kyrie saying, yeah, mine's Alexa Bliss. I hate the term the new. Insert legend here. That's understandable. Coffee? Says Andre. Oh, I mean, that's, yeah. Will wrestling have another boom period? It's arguable that it's having one now. WWE may not be, but in some ways they are. WWE is doing very well financially, even if their ratings aren't doing. Even if their ratings are very low, very very low, and even if a lot of their other avenues that they typically could rely on are low, even if fan satisfaction is really low, they are making a lot of money. They're making more money now than arguably ever, but. Also, indie promotions are doing better than they ever have been. There's a huge boom for wrestling companies. Smaller companies are doing more financially stable work than they've been and possibly again ever, and more of them. So you can make the argument that we're experiencing one right now. It's just an interesting time because normally when there's a wrestling boom, it's the WWF is doing really well in ratings, and this is a wrestling boom that may not be happening, maybe happening without WWE having a lot of ratings. So that's kind of weird. But New Japan is doing better than it ever has been before. Yeah, TNA is kind of struggling, but they're still doing better than a lot of other smaller promotions were years ago. So. Canadian Championship Wrestling? Weebs? I don't know what a weeb is. I was not a big Mark Henry guy myself. Indie wrestling is huge right now, yeah. And I'm not just saying indie wrestling is huge from like, oh, people like it kind of thing. It's not like that. But I mean, yeah, that's a factor in it. But it's the fact that indie wrestling makes money. Like, there's a lot of companies that are turning profit, and small independent companies that are doing well. The internet having other revenue sources, Capital Wrestling that I work for, they're doing well. And decades ago, that kind of success from, smaller companies would possibly not even be, it might not even be possible. Yeah, but WWE is better now than they were before. They're making a lot of money being publicly traded. Even though it's controversial, they made a lot of money from that Crown Jewel deal as well as their Fox deal. They're making more money. You may not like what they're doing, but they're making a lot of money doing it. Not huge, you geeks. How is it huge? How is what huge? Are you talking about indie wrestling? Because, like I said, Devin, indie wrestling, if that's what you're talking about, it's because indie wrestling in very small companies that haven't been around a while are making more money. Independent wrestlers are making more money than they ever would. There have been 20 years ago, independent companies, there were guys who might wrestle a match for like $10, $20. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen now still, but you can have a company now where you have a small independent promotion and you can make $100 a night, even if you're just starting out. And, that's better than, it used to be. There were some guys who would just get paid in ring time, like their payment was being in the ring. See you, Dave. Have a good one. Gonna go back on my shift, pal. Hey, Carl, thank you for stopping by. Glad you came by, and, looking forward to, everything you do with YouTube, and glad that you're with AA. Brown, jeez. Going to cost me $500 to replace the bearings on my lug nuts on my Cadillac. Well, Cadillac's pretty cool, though. At least you have that. Unlucky rear wheel. But that sucks, man. Hope you got a good guy. I don't care about the Shawn Michaels hair thing. Whatever, because I think the the eye thing is way worse. That's a way worse physical thing that happened to him. So I don't care one way or another. That's my thing is I just wish people would stop talking about him and stop putting him on this pedestal because I don't think he belongs there at all. AJ, that's why I have it on my. And I can't sit through either show. I disagree, Dave. Certain guys in the business... Whoa, what's Devin saying? Outside WWE are making excellent money. That doesn't mean that there are a bunch of successful companies as far as business grows. No, I understand your point, though. And I'm not trying to say all companies are successful. But I am trying to say that there are more... Okay, let's look at the 90s, late 90s. The big three companies that were doing very well were WWF, WCW, and ECW. Now... WWE is doing, financially well. So is New Japan. Fine. These guys, and then these other companies may not be doing as well as WWF, ECW, or WCW back in the day. But Ring of Honor, Jakara, MLW, PWG. And I could keep going. I could keep naming companies. And fine, none of them may be doing better than, WCW or as good as WCW from that time period, but it's the fact that there's so many of them and they're all doing okay. That's the surprising part. That's the weird part, or, the fact that they're able to go on. And again, like the company I work for and all these guys, these companies with the amount of with the level that because Capital Wrestling hasn't been around for 2 years yet. They're still celebrating their first year, and they're growing. They have 1 million viewers on their shows, and that's trying to get that many back in 20 years ago or more. Would have been hard to do. Even 10 years ago, it might have been rough. But what's with all multiple sources of avenues like Twitch, like I'm not trying to get into the finances and business and all that. I'm just trying to say that there are more opportunities now for other companies, and there are smaller companies that are doing more. There's more of these companies than there ever could have been before. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize. And it's and that's also why I feel sorry for AOP and the whole. I thought it was a stupid angle. I can't believe they did that. Allegedly, Big Show didn't even know who that guy was. Would you call his best and worst? Best for me was Kurt Angle. Worst, Enzo ever got his competitive chair? Don't know what you mean by that. Okay, no, it's great that there are alternatives, but I think that the level of which their business is judged is not correct. I'm sorry, they're, as of yet, I stress, not the financially successful. No, they're not, like I said, they're not that financially successful. It's the fact that they are still companies that are being able to stay afloat, being able to survive. There were independent companies all the time in the 90s and before that just came up and went away. Like, people would try it and go, and then they would just instantaneously go away. All these companies I'm naming have been around for a while, for years. A lot of these companies have been around since 2002, and you don't think about it this way, but like, for example, Chikara has existed from 2002 till today, and they're still going strong. And so that's 16 years. Roughly 16 years. Now, let's look at WCW. WCW didn't make it that far. WCW, well, it was, Jim Crockett Promotions and, and with the NWA and all that, but WCW as a company in itself, started the specific date, but let's just, roughly 1990 is the start date. And they were out of business by 2001. So that's 11 years. I mean, I understand that's conditional, but that's 11 years. ECW started in 1995, and they were out of business by 2001. So look at that. That was 6 years. So, I understand, again, they started as Eastern Championship Wrestling. But when you look at these companies, these are the big names of wrestling. And yeah, I know that doesn't compare to the NWA that was around still today, forever. But just look at it that way. WCW, huge, dethroned the WWF as the top wrestling company in the country and in the world. And they were only around, technically speaking, for 11 years. ECW was the third brand, and they were only around for like 6. But then you have Chikara that's been around for 16 years. And Chikara is a brand that not everybody knows. And, it's not even one of the big ones, but they were around for 16 years is my point. They're still going after 16 years, which is longer than WCW, longer than ECW. It's almost longer than both of them combined. Almost. Not quite, but yeah. Eastern Championship Wrestling started in 1992. Extreme Championship Wrestling started in 1995. That's what I'm saying. Look at CZW, promotion going 20 years old. Yeah. I wasn't talking about Eastern Championship Wrestling. I was talking about Extreme Championship Wrestling. Let me clarify. How good UF or FMW is weird. He's very unusual. It's weird, Jenna. He's very unusual. Who's very unusual? Hey, Dave, I was at War Games Live. Cool. Awesome. Very envious. HVA promo about losing his smile was one of the most hilarious. Oh, jeez, yeah, hilarious, but not in a good way, but not intentionally. WCW, but like I said, the specific date of WCW, you can go either way on it. Yeah, you can count it in 1988, but I'm counting when they officially broke off and had their own, when they officially broke off from the NWA was 19. Like I said, you can count it in several ways if you want to. I preference that, but I'm trying to count the time when they were, isolated. Was still JCP. WCW. I like that this accidentally started a whole, argument here. Well, they officially let NWA in 1993, left in 1993 or 1994, true, but the business is different. No, I know it's different. I know it's not a fair comparison. I'm just pointing out, if you look at, hey, Matty Action, what's up, my man? A lot of people have been asking about you. But I thought, let's see. But you get my point, is what I'm trying to point out here. Even if we do start it at 1988, even if we do start Eastern Championship Wrestling in 1992, Chikara still has them beat. And the same thing with Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor's been around, Ring of Honor is another company like Chikara, started in 2002, still going strong now. I can with all the ECW talk, I will announce that I will be interviewing franchise Shane Douglas 101 January at Wrestling with Wrestling. Awesome! Congratulations, Andre. Very jealous. It's very awesome. Eastern Extreme are the same promotion. They left. Look, I know they are the same promotion, but I'm talking about the branding. But we're trying not. But like I said, I'm not trying to split here. I'm aware they're the same promotion. I get it, but I'm not talking about splitting hairs here. I'm just trying to give. It was just trying to give a quick example. But technically, WCW was 60. Technically, no, I get it. I prefaced all that. By saying technically. But I just wanted to use it as a quick for instance. And I understand that they're not the same. I was just trying to point something out here. Jungle Revolution. Ring of Honor will keep on going since they have Sinclair Productions on their side. Yeah. And the business has changed? Yes. You've got to mention. Yeah, no, that's another one. And, Impact's another one that's been around, too. So, I mean, I could keep going. I didn't want to mention Impact just because the NWA years was once part of the NWA, because now we're going to get in that argument. But, yeah. Yes, I do remember Wrestling Society X as a good Teddy Hart fan. Of course I do. Has them beat as far as longevity? Sure, but WCW was operating on a budget of $63 million before they were started. And yeah, no, I completely agree with that, Devin. Like I said, they by no stretch of the imagination higher grossing than WCW. I'm not saying that, but I'm just pointing out the fact that a company at that level has maintained and is still surviving, is still continuing. And it's not just one, it's several companies like that. And it's why, in case you remember, I started this by saying we arguably are experiencing another wrestling boom. Is it as financially successful? No, but it's quality. Are you going to say quality versus quantity? Sure, we can get into that argument. That's a different story. But I'm just pointing out that there are multiple promotions that have not shut down at this level of business, where years ago that wasn't an option. Or a year with the amount of audience they have, or the market, the market they have being limited, they're able to survive. Or where that kind of thing didn't happen beforehand. That's what I'm trying to point out. So that's why it's arguable that there is a wrestling boom now, because there are multiple companies that are all maintaining at that certain level, and it doesn't seem that they're in danger of going anywhere. That's the other thing. Like, Impact is probably the one that's in the most danger, and they right now seem to have stabilized all right. I think they're fine now. They may not be great, but they're somewhere. The Wrestling Society. No, Wrestling Society X had a lot of potential. It was on the wrong network. I'll start there, though. Videos on wrestling history, like... I already have AA. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see. Yeah, completely true. 10 years ago, what's happening now would be unthinkable. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not trying to say they're financially up there with WCW. I'm not trying to make that comparison. I'm just pointing out that there are all these companies that have endured for this long a period of time and don't seem to be in any danger of going away. And on top of that, even talks of All Elite Wrestling, another company entering the fray, and yet no one's getting in each other's way. Nobody's stepping on each other's toes, and it doesn't seem to be hurting the business. All these companies doing all right for themselves. Dave, you should do a guilty pleasures. I have that too. Teddy Hart told me that his Ring Rats wrestling promotion didn't make it because guys like AJ Styles bring that style elsewhere. That's possible. Take care, Immortal Remus. Hey, sorry that I haven't talked to you much, but thank you for being here, Immortal Remus. AA. Immortal Remus, JBW found a 30. I'm going to close his. Watch MLW Teddy Hart is the best part of the show. Oh, believe I got an Wednesday. There's an MLW video coming up, and don't get me wrong, I try to dial back my Teddy Hart talking as much as I can, but yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I mentioned Teddy Hart for sure in MLW. That's coming on Wednesday, so yeah, don't worry about that. You already have a guilty pleasures video. Yep. Isn't there pet peeves? Yeah. No, I know my own videos. Those are two separate videos. Yes, there's a guilty pleasure video and a pet peeves video. Optimus, my favorite is Tommy Dreamer. Okay. RVD or Sabu and a New Jack. You asking me or just saying stuff? Is it clear, Roberto? So far, so far I'm all over the place. Is it clever to Young Bucks and Cody to launch AEW in Florida and NXT in there? Yes and no. Here's another surprising business thing. Is Wrestling shows in areas wherever WrestleMania, and now this does tie into your question. Wherever WrestleMania is, WrestleMania weekend, wherever they're having it, wrestling promotions tend to sell out. Everybody tends to send out in that area. So it's like this WrestleMania season, that weekend, you think it's like, well, people are here for WrestleMania. Why would they sell out? But they do. You know, there's some people who go into like the Saturday before WrestleMania, and they'll sell out because there are a lot of people come in town for just WrestleMania, and then they say, hey, I'll check out an indie show. But then you say, what about NXT? There's tons of people who go to NXT now, and you think that would have stifled business. But no, there's some people who just can't get into WrestleMania or NXT, but they still want to go to wrestling, so they just go to an indie show, and everybody sells out. And all minor wrestling companies tend to do really well WrestleMania weekend who are around the same area where WrestleMania is. So, same thing like NXT, where you say, yes, they have NXT in Florida, so does that seem like a bad idea to have it down there? Maybe, but WWE is so profitable that they have like spillover, or people who don't want to spend the high prices for that, they'll go somewhere else and they'll get what they want. Now, I don't know what NXT costs, but being around, the old mentality was to distance yourself as much as possible. Why Vince McMahon had a lock on the Garden, and why the Georgia Dome, speaking of which, was WCW turf for sure. But it's kind of at the point where I think people are having a reverse mentality, realizing that there's more strength in numbers and attacking a targeted, a widespread demographic that's in a targeted area rather than trying to disperse. It seems to be more preferential. You should talk about the Anoa'i family. I do plan to, that's for sure. Double A, you have any interest in Japanese wrestling? I think so. To answer the question, Teddy Hart question, no, Teddy Hart is responsible for bringing most of the... Now, I've met Teddy, and I understand. It's like, here's the thing. I've met Teddy, and I understand a lot of his points about things. I'm not here to talk ill, good, or, I'm not here to talk ill about Teddy. I understand, he has a different mentality. He has said things I don't disagree, I don't agree with, but I do agree, but I understand what he's saying, but I'm trying not to get into that. Dave, what's your favorite WrestleMania? I don't really have one. It's weird because WrestleMania 17 is probably the obvious answer, just because that was a pretty good show. I didn't like the way it ended. I didn't like the Austin heel turn, but we could do that. I worked with Teddy in the same promotion for close to 2 years, and there were. Yeah, and here's the thing. I never worked with him, but I have met him and talked to him, and it's like, here's the thing. But I do know other people who've worked with him, and I'm sorry for any, and I understand that there are some people who have had rough times working with him, and I get it. But there are a lot of people who I know who have worked with him that have nothing but positive statements to say, about him. And I also know that he's a different... I'm under the impression, I've been told he's a different guy now than he used to be. But here's the thing. I may not agree with everything he says, but I understand the mentality into it. It's almost like Eric Bischoff, too. Not comparing the two, but Eric Bischoff, there are things that he says, and I'll nod my head to, and I understand it. I won't agree with it, but I understand it. Like when people talk about him and Hogan, he says that whenever he had a 50-50 decision, and it was between Hogan and someone else, he aired on Hogan's side just because he figured, why not air on the side of the guy that was one of the biggest money draws of all time, if not the biggest money draw? Like, when you air on that guy's side, and that makes sense. I still don't agree with it. There are things I don't agree with, like bringing the Ultimate Warrior in was a complete waste of time in WCW in 1998. That was a complete misstep. But I get his mentality, and that's just one thing, and I agree with all the things that Bischoff says. So it's kind of the same thing with Teddy Hart. I understand where he's coming from certain angles. I don't agree with everything he says, but I understand where he's coming from, and I find it interesting. So I work for the Hart family, Devin. You just make yourself... Devin, it was a... Guys, calm down. What's up with, let's keep it cool. Okay, Undertaker is the real Mr. Wrestling. I think so, too. I got flack for saying that in one episode. Teddy Hart is unique, and It's filled with quirky, insane guys. Yeah, and see, Optimus, that's kind of what I'm saying, too. It's like, I understand his greater vision for wrestling, and even if I don't agree with all of it, I do understand, and I like that I like that kind of thinking. Talk about Brickle? No, because I don't know what the Brickle is. Jay, just subbed to your channel. Can't wait to binge watch your videos. Looks really interesting. Awesome. George Bryce. Easy, guys. Devin, let's be cool. Let's be easy. Nikki Bella should be the next women's Money in the Bank winner. I don't even know if she's going to be in it. I kind of think this was just like, she's back for Evolution because it's Evolution. But I'm not even sure I think she's done. Don't get me wrong. I mean, not Nikki Bella, but I'm kind of interested to see like what they're going to do with Brie Bella and with Daniel Bryan's heel turn. If they bring her up, I don't know that they will. Are you surprised too? Yes, I am very surprised that 205 Live is alive. Roberto Soto, I agree 100%. What did Roberto Soto say? Who's Mr. Takeover? Nobody stays in NXT long enough to be Mr. Takeover, but Gargano is probably the best answer just because of going from, or Ciampa, just because going from their DIY tag team days to solos. That's pretty good. The brick incident, not the brick of the brick. Oh, jeez, that guy. Oh man. Oh. Yeesh. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, there was a wrestlers, I believe they were in Mexico, where one wrestler took a cinder block and he threw it. He was in the ring and the other guy was outside the ring and he threw it directly at his head, hit him in the back of the head, and knocking him out. The fact that guy is still alive is amazing. Yeah, he required operations. They say just one, and he should be stabilized and he should be all right. That is a testament alone to how tough that dude is. But the guy who threw the brick, they're saying that, he said that, the guy was, stiffing him, hitting him with stiff shots earlier in the ring, and so he had a comment. I don't care. I don't care how hard the potato is. You don't throw a brick at the back of a guy's head. You could kill someone doing that. That is ridiculous, and that's not okay. Look, people lose their cool. People get hit with stiff shots. By video, just this past Wednesday talked about it. But no excuse. No excuse. Bad idea. Social Justice Warrior, what's up? Brian and Bree should be a heel couple. That's what I'm saying. Are they going to do that? Are they not going to do that? That keeps me interested. Looking for the line for Nikki Bella's to start with Harry Flynn. The brick incident reminds me of the Hayabusa botch on the Shooting Star Press. I think they're very different, but okay. Okay, cool. Everyone's good. Why on earth anyone would use a real? What was the real brick doing there? Even better question. Because it would have been awesome if they have one of those those powder bricks that they look like regular bricks and they feel very good, but are a little bit they're just dust and powder. Just a little bit of if they shatter. Brick. What did he expect? Yeah, I know. The guy went down what did he expect? But it's like an old Home Improvement episode. You threw a brick out a window. What do you expect it to do? Stick? Did you miss science class? If you don't get what that reference is, I'll explain it. But it was one of my favorite Home Improvement lines. Is Kevin Owens getting right booking? I asked because I watched WWE once in a. Well, he's not. He's injured right now, so we'll see when he gets back. Doing such a thing because of a few stiff shots, the guy should be prosecuted for attempted murder. Yeah, no, Optimus, I'm not arguing that. The brick spot reminds me of the ice pick spot. Yeesh. Miz has pretty much harassed and demeaned Bryan since day one in the company. How are fans supposed to accept the Miz as the fave in his feud? Social Justice Warrior says, "Cause wrestling." I mean, Sergeant Slaughter turned his back on America to be an Iraqi sympathizer and then said, "I want my country back." And everyone's like, "Okay, you can have it, buddy." It's like, cause wrestling. That's why. And he's already been trying to say, and Miz has already been saying, "See, this is why I've been this way to Daniel Bryan, because I told you so." This is what he's like, oh, Dave, you love Home Improvement? I like you even more now. Awesome. Show that people don't talk about it enough. Like, the man, like, all of his man's, like, houses, like, the rooms, like, the man kitchen, the man bathroom, like, how, like, I want those. I'm in. Although the microwave scares me. I don't know if I'll go that far, but, you know. Brick spawn runs on mass transit and said, yeah, okay, there, yeah. Yeah, there's a similarity. I understand it. I don't 100% agree, but yeah. We have short-term memory. Yeah, that's right. Just like the Scottie Pippen commercial. That's right, and I'm the greatest Chicago Bull of all time. Exactly. Being one of the most curable champions in the business. Yeah, no, I'm all day with Tessa. Yeah, but I'm comparing it to the time Hogan and Sting reversed roles and the fans couldn't get invested. No, that's true, but that's... Well, while people forget those things because wrestling, that didn't go well because WCW. That was just poorly booked. People will forget it if you give it the right spin on things. I know people are very hesitant about The Miz going face since last time was awful, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. I think they just need to remember the Chris Jericho formula. That's really what it comes down to. He just needs to be a smarmy, jerky self against bad guys. Maybe not even maybe plant the seeds of Daniel Bryan, but just target people that, wrestling fans don't like to begin with. Like, in case you're forgetting, he was getting cheered as a heel against Cena just because he was doing it. He was, and he was also getting over against Daniel Bryan, on that Talking Smack episode. All he's got to do is fire with some realness, be his, obnoxious self, but just target it at, the right people. Pick the right guys. Pick the right method. Just the Chris Jericho method that works perfectly. O'Haire didn't have enough charisma character. Sean O'Haire didn't have enough charisma as a character. Yeah, I'll agree with that. There are ways I thought they could have covered it, but yeah. Covered it up and done better on because I really like Sean O'Haire. Hulk Hogan versus Ciampa for the NXT Championship. Yeah, why not? Yeah, let that be a thing. Finger poke of doom. Not even a little. I love your channel. Better question: how didn't Sean O'Haire get over? Sean O'Haire, look, I'm a big fan of all the Natural Born Thrillers, but there was a reason why. Mike Sanders was the leader, even though he was. And believe me, I liked all the Natural Born Thrillers, but he was probably the least. I don't want to say he was the worst in the ring because that's not really. I mean, because it makes it sound bad. But I'm just trying to say is the other guys were bigger than him and they could do a lot of stuff. So it was more impressive that they were able to do swantons and stuff like that. So he was still very good. Mike Sanders very good. Really like Mike Sanders a lot. But he was easily the best on the microphone. So they used him as kind of the leader because they knew he was best on the microphone. And he might be a step or two behind the other guys in the ring. But then Mark Jindrak and Sean O'Haire and everybody else were a couple steps behind Mike Sanders on the microphone, and that's the way it's supposed to go. Now, the thing about it for me was Sean O'Haire I don't think was bad. I think he was okay, but there were ways they could have worked around Sean O'Haire, what he's got to do. He was a little flat in his delivery, but guys like that, you use them for what they are. He would have been okay with a manager, or you showcase the positives and you hide the negatives. So let him talk a little bit, but really just showcase how he's huge, but he can do all kinds of crazy moves that a guy his size should not be able to do. WCW was saying that they were the future of wrestling. Big guys who could do really athletic, agile moves, and they were supposed to be, and they're not, but, what are you going to do? I'm just glad that the Yes Movement is dead. Let Brian heal it up. Good. Yeah. Not going to argue with that. Did you get my DM? No. Unless it was a while ago. Yeah, no, the Devil's Advocate gimmick was pretty cool. But that's also the thing, too. I like it, but also that suffered from a kind of a Miz Flair thing, too. It's when they're like, hey, Piper, he's the new Piper now. It's stop it. Knock it off. But I like that, too. But he works in the same vein as T.J. Perkins, who, remember him? I think certain guys like that, especially, work really good backstage, with us on a set, pre-taped, but they don't do great with in-ring promos. And Sean O'Haire is definitely one of those guys. So those pre-tape segments work better for him, and they should not have let him do live stuff. TJ Perkins should never be available on hot mic, because I remember the first day of the Cruiserweight show when they give him a hot mic, and he was in front of that live crowd. Even though it was like a backstage thing, he wasn't like in the ring or anything like it. I was pretty sure the interview was live. It could have been pre-taped too, but he was stuttering, he was stammering, and all of a sudden, totally different dude than the backstage stuff that they were doing with him just sitting there interviewing, talking about being homeless and all that stuff. That guy was all right in those pre-taped interview segments. A guy who live, or even if it appears to be live, that guy no good. That guy no good on the mic. But then again, so this was a great manager filling those blanks. Yeah. Well, the other thing about the Devil's Advocate gimmick was it was cool, but there's only so much of them you can do. It's like, how many scenarios could you possibly give me? Like 3, 5, and then we're done. With his promos, it was just... Yeah, like I said, once he got live in the ring on a hot mic, that was the problem for me. I think Sean O'Haire was fine if they just did the pre-tapes. But again, the pre-taped segments only could go so far. A great example of how you do it is Mr. Perfect. Because Mr. Perfect had his, vignettes, all those sports vignettes, which were fantastic. But there's only so many sports you can do. And then they moved on. They didn't make it the only thing they were banking Mr. Perfect on. Absolutely not. They did them. They were awesome. But they had future plans. And they continued those future plans. And he's another one. While some people would say he was fed to Hulk Hogan, he didn't win against Hulk Hogan, but he was still Mr. Perfect. Did he lose some steam? Sure. But he still went on to be a hugely, hugely successful wrestler. And, undeniably one of the big names in professional wrestling. And so when someone says, losing momentum, you got to remember Mr. Perfect. Now, I understand this is a tall order. Not everyone can be Mr. Perfect, so I'm not trying to say expect that from everyone. I'm just trying to say, if done right, you can do something well. I feel like Sean O'Haire. By the way, might I point out that I'm very proud of all you guys for talking about Sean O'Haire, because my love for National Porn Thrillers has maintained the fact that I'm, very proud that it's not just me, and I like all you guys. And again, the Know It All Nation, we all have specific mentalities, and I'm very proud to see it. Lars was also going to say, I hope he goes to SmackDown. He'll get lost in Raw. Yeah, there are too many big guys on Raw. He would do better on SmackDown. And I wouldn't mind Lars Samoa Joe feud, although I don't know how that will work since they're both heels. Sprawl Saturday, Lex Luger. Okay, could have morphed over time like Taker, or so many things that he could have done. Zombie. Okay, not a big fan of the zombie gimmick, but hope the crowd signs the final countdown to Daniel Bryan. Mr. Perfect's twin brother, Mr. Decent. Yeah. Harry, I don't think I could do that, but, if I can, I'll try. The New Blood. I'm back. Hey, what's up, TJ Fritz? Welcome back. How about the other Havoc tag team again? Was it Palumbo? Oh, Palumbo. Yeah, Palumbo, I think, unfortunately, the Billy and Chuck thing, I think, murdered Palumbo's career. That's the thing. Like, Jindrak, I don't know why he turned down the spot from Evolution. I don't know what the story there. Do I think that Jindrak would have done as well in that role as Batista did? Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to say. But, yeah. Dave, you should do a video on best hot takes. That's one of those newer terms that I don't 100% understand yet. That is. They can turn Lars face on the main roster, but they won't. But they can. Yeah, I agree. They were rad, Jenna. Ravens stolen would have been awesome if it happened. If it happened. Thanks, Jenna. Hasn't been. I said welcome back to, didn't I? I would bring Alexa to. Thanks. Try bringing her to me while I'm alive. Let's talk about that. The Deuces or whatever they were. Okay. Yeah, I didn't mind chucking the FBI or his biker gimmick. Mini Taker gimmick. It was a step in the right direction, but it was too little, too late. Ship had already sailed. FBI, I minded only because I liked FBI in ECW, where the gag was that the majority of them weren't Italian, like Tracy Smothers, JT Smith. Like, that was the joke, and it was funnier that way. In WWE, they made him, you know, they really hammered the Italian thing. I was like, but it's not as funny this way. Like, the reason why the stable worked in ECW is because it was like being done in a funny sense. You know, it's like they clearly just didn't get the gag, you know. And the same thing like Bubba Ray and Devon. It's like everyone is so used to Bubba Ray and Devon as the Dudley Boys, but it's like you have to remember in the beginning the concept that these guys were brothers was hysterical. Like, it was just funny by itself, you know. Here you go. Harry, you're so weird. I love it. See, Jenna likes it. What about Dean Ambrose versus Mankind? It was going to happen. Would have been all right. You know who's underrated? Ken Shamrock. You know, it's funny. Albert was talking about that on Monday. Well, we were talking about it on Monday. I don't know if you're calling back to that. I don't know if you're trying to rev me up or whatever. But I mean, like I said, I like Ken Shamrock, but you know, Vince Russo was sent to destroy WCW. Fact or fiction? I don't think that's true. I think he did destroy WCW, but I don't think that's why he was sent there. Because if he was sent there, he would have been welcomed back in open arms, back into the fold in WWE for a job well done, being a well-conditioned soldier. But he didn't. Yeah, there you go, Devin. No, he's just an idiot. Yeah. Ken was too stiff a worker, apparently. Yes, and I agree. At least under that, guys. I mean, I was told, or, you know, I've also heard that Ken Shamrock did have professional wrestling training and he knew how to wrestle like a pro wrestler, but they wanted him to do that UFC stuff, that MMA stuff, because that they wanted to add legitimacy to WWF, and they also wanted him to bring that style in. And unfortunately, that he didn't know how to pull. Like, he didn't know how to pull his punches doing that. He didn't know how to dial that back. If they wanted him to be just a regular pro wrestler, he could have done that no problem. Like, you know, look at the, you know, waistlock takedown that he did with Bret Hart at WrestleMania 13. Fine, granted, that's just one move. But I'm just pointing out, like, that was fine. You know, there was nothing wrong with that. He did it exactly as he's supposed to do. So, I don't know if that's true or not, but it was something I heard. Are there any famous wrestlers following you guys on Twitter? I'm a fan. I'm followed by Cliff Compton, of all people. I believe so, yeah. I think Goldust is. And others. Is Vince an idiot, or was Vince? If it's Russo, idiot. Vince McMahon could go either way. Brian Pillman versus Stone Cold would be awesome. Yeah. He actually was trained professional wrestler in Japan as he was fighting it. Yep, see, Taps knows. Tap or Snap. Ah, there you go. Tap or Snap knows what I'm talking about. I heard the same thing about Shamrock, but I feel like he had his moments during his run. Yeah, I like Shamrock. I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just answering the stiff question. Shane Douglas follows me on Instagram. Xbox dog Lula follows me. Interesting. Vince Russo is the greatest thing to happen to wrestling. Wow. CM Punk bothered me. Sorry to hear that, buddy. Vince Russo is underrated. Definitely not. TJ, I swear you've become like, I think you're trying to become like a professional troll. With the Nikki Bella thing and now this. He's not underrated at all. He's overrated still. And like, the vast majority of wrestling fans hate him, and he's still overrated. And what did you do to get blocked by Janela? I don't know who Janela is. Joey Janela. Never mind. I know what Janela is. I was thinking Janela was like a girl on a reality show. Never mind. Now I get it. Joey Janela. Duh. Well, there were other people that brought the demise of WCW, but the final nail in the coffin was Time Warner. Yeah, absolutely. I got blocked by Will Wheaton. And I've never used one. Well, I don't think you're missing anything. Worst thing that was a product of Shamrock was Dan Severn and Tank Abbott. Well, you can actually make the argument that, Ken Shamrock is actually a product of Dan Severn. Dan Severn was actually... Dan Severn is actually a much bigger... You might not like him in the professional wrestling to watch, but he actually has contributed a lot to the business. Deuce or Domino, can't remember. I don't know why I got blocked. It was better than Russo. Yeah. I have a turn heel. Oh, well, with a name like Evil Cody Omega, it should be an easy transition. I also got blocked by Linkara for busting his balls. have no regrets. Heck, Vince Russo gave us the Attitude Era. No, he didn't. People hate on that. He didn't give us the Attitude Era. Here's the thing that I just don't understand. It's like, in the 90s, in the late 90s, it was a proven fact, Austin McMahon feud was the hottest feud there was in wrestling, possibly of all time. It's possibly one of the greatest feuds there ever was, even though it's between a wrestler and a non-wrestler. Look, Vince Russo was one cog of that machine. Let's stop making it sound like he did that, because what I don't understand is there are pocketed groups of people that say the Screwjob gave us the Attitude Era. I already did a very long video. No, it didn't. Some people say, I also did another long discussion with Albert about this, where people say Vince Russo gave us the Attitude Era. No, he didn't. The Attitude Era was a combination of several factors. It's also been well documented that part of the Attitude Era was WWF biting off of ECW style. Yeah. DX was a rip of the NWO. It was their second attempt because their first was the Nation of Domination and it didn't work, and so they switched it over. The Attitude Era was given to us by Stone Cold Steve Austin. It was given to us by The Rock. It was given to us by a lot of people. Also, people saying that blah, blah, blah didn't fit in the Attitude Era. Well, they were a big part of it, whether you think so or not. All right, man. Headbanger Thrasher follows you on Twitter. Okay. Didn't think it was that important. Vince Russo don't make the Undertaker. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Russo didn't work for the company when the Undertaker debuted, so I don't even get what you're babbling about there. I don't have a car. It is too bad. BW was funny. But to be fair, ECW got them back by ripping off the Attitude Era video game, so full circle. That game was awful, and I played the crap out of it. Tom Green had a hand in it. A very minor hand, if at best, but Austin was born drinking his first beer in ECW. There you go. There you go, Double A. Thank you. Jen's Bean Slam then made me spit. What did Jenna say? What Jenna say? Optimus, he posted a video of Enzo and he said something like, douchey the dancing and rapping, and I said, almost as douchey as Gus. Ha! Alright, that was pretty funny. WWF Attitude was in many ways a rehash of ECW, which Vince was supporting. Yes, thank you, Jenna. Exactly. So Vince Russo didn't give it. And if you want to, and people defend Russo by saying, hey, that guy made tons of money for, okay, well, how come he couldn't do the same thing for WCW? How come he couldn't do the same thing for TNA? I mean, if you take the same stimulus and you put him in different situations, and yet the turnaround is not even close, it's the complete opposite, then how could it be that guy? Like, obviously it's not that guy because he, not only because he's tanked companies, it's not like he didn't do, it's not like they did well, but they didn't do as well as the WWF, and, give them credit where credit's due. WCW was at its lowest, it was like at one of its lowest points when he entered, and it stayed there. TNA started dropping when he was there. They had to hire him in secret for years in TNA because nobody wanted to work with him. So if you think that's underrated, if you think he gave us good, if you think that makes him great, I'm sorry. The thing I love about statistics and numbers and ratings and everything that I've been talking about, it seems this week is pretty heavy, is that people just want to deny things even when there's facts and there's no evidence to prove it, prove their arguments. People want to say Tyson did good for the WWF, and Tyson's contributions were huge. No, they were not, and you can prove it with numbers and facts, which I did on Monday. And Tuesday on the comic book live stream, it came up again somehow. Same thing with Vince Russo. You can look at the money, you can follow the money. Vince Russo did not look. I'm not saying it. The way I view Vince Russo is, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, he'll shoot 100 ideas out at you, and one or two of them will be amazing. The rest of them, ignore them. And Vince Russo works best when you have a guy who's the overseer of them and will cherry pick those like one or two good ideas and run with them and expand upon them and just ignore the rest. If you put Vince Russo out there and Ferrara, because everyone seems to forget about Ferrara on this one, if you throw him out there, maybe because his name is hard to say, but if you throw them together, you're going to get a bunch of hoo-ha nonsense, but there's going to be one or two nuggets out there. A joke about Tom Green, main Attitude Era was a sign of the times as well. Yes, Shock TV was in, Jerry Springer, Jackass. Yes, taps or snaps. Okay, good. Okay, let's say that was a joke because I just didn't even know what to make of that statement. I was glad to hear I could make you laugh, courtesy. Jake Roberts would have been the higher power, but those Heroes of Wrestling WWE was like, yeah, Vince, I should be. You should be that. Yeah. Russo overbooked matches to death. Yeah. Blank on a poll. Yeah, but WCW was already, fine, but it doesn't change the fact that he has never even come close to succeeding anywhere else. You can make all the excuses you want for him, but how much does the guy have to fail? How long? How many years? How many companies until it becomes very clear that he was just in a company that was doing well? He just happened to be in the right place at the right time, and people want to say that's all him. There's no proof of that at all. And Triple H is the game character evolution. Was a complete ripoff of Shane Douglas as the franchise character. Down to the Harley Davidson. Old man. There's no genius. If Vince McMahon did a racist, horrible ideas, WWE would have been out of business. Yeah, no, people also want to ignore the fact that Vince Russo worked there from 1992 until 1999. And people highlight the 2 years that he did very well, ignoring the fact that the years before that he did really badly, and WWF was on a decline. So including the WWF, he also didn't do great by them there. Dave, you were being biased, my man. Yes, Russo has made... But the thing, WCW was... Like I said, I acknowledge WCW was on the downside, but what about TNA? TNA did worse while he was there. You could say that WCW was already on a decline. Well, he didn't help. My point is, if you want to say, Vince Russo is the guy who makes money and gives us, the Attitude Era... Where's the proof? He didn't improve anything. From a financial standpoint, you want to say that it's still going downhill. Fine. You want to say, and it's not a bias. I'm looking at facts here. WCW, quality-wise, also went down. It's not like he gave us better ideas. It's not, fine, they were on a decline. What about his writing? Forget about the money, for whatever reason. Let's forget about the money. Because I talk about this a lot, about money draw. Who's a money draw and who's not. It's one of my major criticisms of Shawn Michaels. Guy can't draw money. I talk about these things all the time. But let's put a pin in that for now. Let's talk about just Vince Russo in terms of writing perspective. What storyline did he come up with in WCW or TNA that was so great? What was the thing that we're like, hey, that was a really good thing? I like creative control for whatever reason. I thought that was okay, even though some people thought that was a misuse. But... what did Vince Russo give us? Okay, fine, forget about the money. Forget about that, because that apparently isn't enough evidence. And you're saying that WCW was a sinking ship that was unsavable at that time. Allegedly. I don't agree with that, because I think you can turn around. I think WWF being almost at bankruptcy around the time of the Screwjob and then turning it around for the Attitude Era. I also think that TNA being almost completely obliterated not that long ago, about a year ago, and now doing better, with Don Callis. I think it's fair to say that companies have been saved from worse positions than WCW were in. But let's just say all that's not true. What storyline, what writing did he do that was so fantastic? What blank on, I'm not even going to go with the typical Russo insults of blah, blah, blah on a pole match and how dumb that is. I'm not even going to go with that. The decision to turn Sting heel was stupid. Let's just talk about all those. What storyline from a pure creative writing standpoint does he have that was genius? Because that was good, that you even like. Did Brett draw? He drew better than Michaels. Brett's not one of the all-time greatest draws. I will never claim that. But he did draw. He drew significantly better than Michaels. My biggest thing about Shawn Michaels is when he hits the main event, wins the title WrestleMania 12, loses it to Austin WrestleMania 14. He didn't have the belt straight through, but that's when his main event prime first started. And during that time period, WCW took over as the number one company. It was the time period when WWF was at its lowest. It's like he tanked the company. And I don't just blame him from like a ability to carry the company. It's also from the clique mentality. Because while I do like Scott Hall and I do like Kevin Nash, I know. I don't like Kevin Nash for his ring work. I just think he's entertaining. But the clique, their business and their backstage politics, while like people make the case everyone backstage politics, their politics specifically ruined the company, and it's very easy. Triple H is still ruining the company now. Those effects are still being felt now. And people say, well, he gave us NXT. Well, he ripped the idea off from Shane. We'll start there. But B, NXT is losing money. It's losing millions of dollars. Last year, they lost $32 million. Over $32 million. And so while I love NXT, it's not making money. And you don't have to pick a this or that. Something doesn't have to be good or make money. You don't have to choose. They could do both. Listen to... Vince Russo is the most hated wrestling figure. Always felt like Vince Russo exactly was the one thought of the idea to bring something like that, like the Attitude Era, while Vince was stuck in the 80s. Yeah, but, like everyone was saying, Austin's character of Stone Cold Steve Austin really started in ECW. He might have been one of those. Okay, if George Bryce, if this is what you're saying, I'll give you that he is not Vince Russo is not a glad-handing yes man. I'll give you that. He's not a John Laurinaitis. He's not a Kevin Dunn. He's not one of these multiple idiots that just tell Vince good idea no matter what Vince McMahon doesn't tell. He's not one of those idiots who just tells Vince McMahon, good idea no matter what Vince McMahon says, and company suffers for it. I will give you that Vince Russo has a backbone. I'll totally give you that. If that's what you're alluding to. I'll totally give you that. And is a guy with a backbone something that Vince McMahon needs? Yes. I just know it's that guy. And I've also talked, so if that's where you're going with this, George Rice, I completely agree with that. Also, Albert's biggest point is that Vince Russo, to defend Vince Russo, one of Albert's biggest points is that Vince Russo is one of the smartest television producers that has worked for WWE. He knows how to compose a show. He knows how to time things right. Where, Albert's typical example for Vince Russo booking writing is that he does well, that people just ignore, was, a limo's pulling up. Who's in that limo? We'll find out after this. And that's when you go to the act break. He gives you reasons to keep looking forward. Like, he understands that very well. He knows how to book that. He knows how to build intrigue in a television show. That's something he's good at. So if you want me to start giving positive about Vince Russo, that's one thing I think he's done better than almost anybody in the WWE, WWF's history, is that he knows how to produce television that's been on a regular Monday show. Because, Dick Ebersol, very, very good, Saturday Night Main Event. But just talking about on the everyday, weekly side of things, I thought Vince Russo was pretty good at doing that organizing television point. My detraction from that is that he's not the only person who knows how to produce television. There are a lot of people who can compose an act break, an A block, a B block, and so on like that. So that would be my counter argument to that. Who's more hated, Russo or Cena? I say Russo. Hogan and Vince Russo, the Mega Powers Reborn, even comes with the explosion. Although I was glad to hear that someone else sees it. I've been told it was crazy. But to me, it's hella obvious. What I miss, Jenna? Such good conversation today. I realized that somebody character was so familiar with facial expressions. Yeah. Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, the Triple H Shane Douglas wannabe with the Francine wannabe, who by the way is a very, very nice person. I met Francine and my friend who was with me. He's the guy holding the camera for my Joel Gertner segment. He has a big crush on Francine. He got a little starstruck, and I kind of embarrassed him a little bit with that, but it was fun. I was like, you'd be amazed how many people call me crazy for that. Oh no, Jenna. Awesome observation. Russo was very good at building intrigue, yeah, but never good at delivering a payoff. Like I said, no, he did sometimes. It's just he needs someone to rein him back. There's another thing. Yes, Austin character was starting ECW, but it was Vince who brought the idea to Vince. Yeah, but it was also other things too. Like it was, there were other things too. It wasn't, because Dutch Mantel, Dutch Mantel. Why am I blanking on his new name? Dutch Mantel, Zeb Coulter. He also had the Austin character was a conglomerate of multiple things, but in the end, it was the character, it was the charisma, it was the ability of Stone Cold Steve Austin that carried that, because you can't give that gimmick to anyone and expect it to work. He was a great guy, yeah. So, Paul Heyman fostered that, nurtured that as well. So, I mean, you're not going to put it on one guy. And the fact that you're going to, you could say Russo said go with it, Vince. Well, Vince had to eventually go with it. And once again, like I said, Vince Russo will spit out 1,000 ideas, and 1 or 2 or 100 ideas, and 1 or 2 of them will be good. And Vince McMahon is the one who cherry picks the right ones. And that was exactly what I said from the beginning. If something sticks, it sticks. You can't say Russo gave us the Attitude Era because 1, Paul Heyman made the Attitude Era and WWE more marketable. 2, characters like The Rock, Austin were extensions of themselves. That's also true too. I would say Russo brought the Attitude Era in WWE, but the real root was ECW. And like I said, I don't even count Russo. I feel because my thing is, if we went back in time and we made sure Russo was never in the Attitude Era, I think it happens anyway. Maybe not the same. Maybe not as good. Maybe better. Who knows? I'm not going to try to speculate that, but I do think if Vince Russo was not in WWF, the Attitude Era happens anyway. And let's also remember that without Vince Russo, it still kept going. So, and they did fine. Like, there was no real obvious difference after he left. It wasn't like, Attitude Era is good, but it's changed. It's not the same. I mean, yeah, things were different, but it wasn't like it lost quality. Like, it was still what it was. The problem, because when he came to WCW, Vince wasn't there to put everything on television. Everything, yeah. One of the nicest people. Yeah, Francine is really nice. ECW made the Attitude Era. Come on now. Multiple things made the Attitude Era. Like, for me, I know the internet, I harp on this on the internet a lot, but the internet loves saying, one thing did this. We all know, using things like, we all know it's a fact, people misusing the word fact in theory, it's a fact that this is the sole reason why this happened. Everything you see was because of this. That's what the internet loves doing. Everything is one way or the other, and that's it. You're either, and if you say anything other, you are 100% for it or you are 100% against it. Is no middle ground. It's multiple things made the Attitude Era. It wasn't just one thing. Was Vince Russo a part of it? Absolutely. So was Vince McMahon. So was Stone Cold Steve Austin. So was The Rock. So were the times when, like you were saying, the Attitude Era was a sign of the times. That's exactly it too. It was just a natural progression of things. It's how things work. It's just common sense. Multiple factors. Calm down, Dave. All right, no, you're right. See, you pull me back this time. I pull you back before you pull me back now. See, that's why we work. Damn, Dave. Damn, sorry, Dave, but why you bury me? I'm not. Was I talking to you? I wasn't talking to you. Dave, you think the era gave birth to? No, Enochiism era gave birth to. Define that a little bit more. The Enochiism era gave birth to Bushiroad at era of New Japan. I mean, you can make the argument that everything in New Japan is because of Antonio Inoki. I mean, yeah. The popular R-rated movie Jerry Springer's Out Party Music. I don't know if Vince Russo was there if they would have had an Attitude Era because Vince is stubborn. Okay, but here's the thing. But if Vince is as stubborn as you claim, why was Vince Russo able to get through to him? The fact that you see the thing here is if Vince Russo was capable of getting to him, then he can't be all stubborn all the time because obviously there is a way to get to him. And if you want to say that Vince Russo's biggest chief contribution is the fact that he could burrow into Vince McMahon's head, well, that's an impressive skill, but I don't think it qualifies. I don't think it qualifies him to get as being a big credit there. I mean, for me, also another factor I think is back then Stephanie and Shane weren't as much factors. The Attitude Eras were where they came about, but I've made my feelings of Stephanie McMahon quite clear. Like, I lament her very existence, and also Triple H too. Triple H and Stephanie are key factors of a lot of the WWE's decision making now. And Vince McMahon, we blur it all together and say he's a stubborn idiot, but he does listen to his daughter, and he does fight with Triple H too. Yeah, I'm not going to say he doesn't, but Triple H is also able to get an ear with Vince McMahon, and a lot of the bad things happening in WWE, I attribute to Triple H and Stephanie. So at that time, it was still Vince. And, Linda was there too. But, Vince was not, he didn't have his, like, Vince McMahon seems to only be capable of listening to, like, 1 or 2 people at a time. And then if it's like, well, Shane, I can't listen to you because Stephanie and Triple H are here. That's my quota's filled. So, like, you can't listen to, So, there's also that, too. McMahon is being investigated by Adidas. Okay. Then we do a segment, Jeff Jarrett versus Insane Celebrity here. Yeah, well, see, and here's something else. Like, I intend to talk about this a little in a different video, but, there's also people talking about Vince McMahon and you're talking about, like, talking about Vince McMahon, Ken Shamrock, Vince McMahon, and Vince Russo, and Jeff Jarrett. There were rumors speculating that Vince Russo really wanted guys like Jeff Jarrett in the main event against Austin and Ken Shamrock against Austin in the main event of the roster, and for various reasons, McMahon vetoed it. Now, good or bad, well, that's a different story, but, and there are reasons behind it, but, yeah, those are also rumors, too. There were a couple of people on the creative team, Vince McMahon, Jim Cornette, absolutely, Pritchard, JR, and Russo. Yes, that's a very good point, too. Who made the Attitude Era? Bischoff did when he decided to compete with Raw. That's I don't want to give Bischoff that much credit, but that's a solid argument. NXT, the only alive thing in WWE next to Dean's heel turn. I personally like what Triple H puts together, so long as he doesn't involve himself in the product. Yes, but my thing is, he's not as hands-on to NXT as a lot of people think he does. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say he's uninvolved, but he has good people working at NXT, and that's the key, too. Again, it's not just one person's source, but yeah. But Social Injustice Warrior, I think that's a fair point. Although, a lot of times on the main product, when he's not involved, I'm still not loving it. Harry Flynn made the Attitude Era. That is correct. And they fought. Vince tried with the NWA invasion and flopped, so he gave Russo's way a shot. How do you feel about people being up in arms about Nia Jax being given a push? See, I don't know that she's giving a push. I mean, yeah, she won something, but it was a battle royal. Like, let's see where this goes. I wouldn't call it a push. I said before that people are upset when somebody hurts someone. We don't want to see our wrestlers hurt. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Fair enough. Especially a wrestler we like. I get it. Do accidents happen? Yes. But there's so many times accidents can happen before someone starts wondering, is this person a safe worker? And also, there's only so many times that accidents happen before you begin to wonder, are they on purposes? Now, I don't think Nia Jax did it on purpose. And are they utilizing the heat she's getting from are they utilizing the injury heat that she's getting to push her, are they maximizing heat? Yeah, but it's no different from when Owen Hart broke Austin's neck, and he had the, Owen 316 says, I just broke your neck. It was an accident. It was harsh. Owen felt very guilty about it. Austin didn't have great feelings about it, but you run with it because it's natural. It's there. Use it. Don't shy away from it. Don't be running away from this gift. And I don't think Nia's going to win anything. I just think they're trying to use it to be getting up in the as a possible threat to Ronda. So are you going to get mad about it? No, there's no reason to get mad about it. Do I like Nia Jax? No. Does it matter? Does it matter? No, because she's The Rock's cousin, and I'm pretty sure they want to keep her happy, so I think she can be head of wrestler, and they'll keep her on screen. Was the late 90s just a sexual attitude time? Yeah, I mean, the thing about the 90s was that, people of the, it's like teenagers of the 90s had parents who were teenagers during this, the sexual revolution of the 60s and 70s. So, generations tend to mirror their previous ones because kids are brought up with certain mentalities that their parents had. Some things are, things are different, but they have certain, changes. It's why the millennials who were brought up by the me generation, very selfish and materialistic, tend to be very materialistic and tend to be very business oriented and think about business all the time, even if they're wrong. Where, my generation, raised by, people that, hippie kind of thing, I'm a slacker, no kidding. Like, of course I'm going to be, as a Gen Xer, of course I'm going to be a slacker. I didn't grow out of it. That's the difference. I'm still one now. So, I still have like that slacker mentality because, non-materialism from like having people who grew up during, being born from people who grew up during the 60s and 70s. It's just kind of, that money's not everything. And that's just kind of mentality. And, that's just how things echo. 2 questions, Dave. Which match do you think will main event WrestleMania 35? Ronda and Becky. And who do you think will win the Royal Rumble? Men's Royal Rumble, I have no idea. Maybe Seth? Better to use in progress storyline. This is one I guess. Or Austin broke Chona's neck. That happened too. The Attitude Era was just experimenting and trying new stuff and pushing boundaries. Yeah, I'll agree with that. The 90s politically incorrect, unlike the 2010s. Yeah, but it comes and it goes. It changes. I think edgier material will come back. I'm raised by people born in the 70s. Not born in the 70s. I said teenagers in the 70s. Being born in the 70s is a very different story. You can't be all hippie and free love if you're a baby. My parents were, already adults during the 70s. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, my dad wasn't a hippie. He had long hair, though. So, I wouldn't call my dad a hippie, but, that's what I'm saying. But, like, hey, what's up, Raw Reflex? Nikki, in the Attitude Era works. She's a burner, apparently. Fits well with the Sable and so. I don't know what a burner is, but okay. I'm a little brought up by baby boomers. Oh, damn, look at that. But I'm finding myself more generation with Gen X. Good for you. I think the whole generation thing could be BS, or you just have an old school. If you're close to the border, you pick up traits from one side or the other, and you can also figure out, like, I'm really close to the border. You pick, you end up just picking sides, and it's not an all absolute. Again, things aren't rigid. It's not 100% one way or the other. It's you pick and choose the way you are, but it does make a lot of sense that if your parents have a certain mentality and they raise you a certain way, you start thinking that way. My parents didn't place a lot of importance on materialism. It was more about being happy with what you do and enjoying your life and your time, which is why I'm kind of a slacker. Why I'm making a YouTube channel about wrestling instead of finance or whatever, instead of doing all that stuff. It kind of, I'm doing things that I like. I'm doing things that I enjoy. I'd rather be happy than rich. I would be very happy to be rich, but, Dave, do you know I have turned face? Oh, that was rough. Your heel turn was scaring me. I don't even know what age a millennial is supposed to be. 1985 and lower, or younger. If you look at TV in the 70s, you could argue it was very PC with the family unit television shows, barely any drugs shown on TV. Yeah, but then you also have All in the Family. That kind of throws a monkey wrench out of the whole situation. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. My great-granddad actually fought in World War II. He came over from China, I believe. All right, rock on. But one of the things I have against NXT, they bring up people that are not ready to keep them. Keep people that have been ready on the main. Define not ready, because you got guys like Nakamura. He's has a lot of experience. The fact that he was even in developmental seems kind of crazy. Hey Dave, which wrestler had a one of a kind gimmick? Really, no one. I don't think. Sure, influenced by other people. You're doing the. Thank you, Tapper Snap. Thank you. For anyone wondering, millennials are people born from 1983. Anything after that is Gen Y. I would have been rich. I would. Oh, I also found out something very disturbing. I found out I'm older than James Ellsworth, and that made me want to cry. The star on the roster right now. Bray Wyatt, because he's not even on TV anymore? Dave, you should bring your dad on the show. I don't know if he'd ever want to. I don't think he would ever want to do it. And he's so out of the loop with wrestling. He doesn't care about wrestling at all anymore. So I don't even know what he was like. He would not know most of the guys you're talking about right now. Dave, do you agree that WWE's roster is really overcrowded? Oh, absolutely, I agree. For me, it's Dolph. Only WWE can make someone so talented seems talentless. Believe me, they have buried the crap out of Dolph. But his stuff with Seth Rollins lately. He just lost to Shane McMahon. that didn't help. But he kind of, yes and no. He kind of did, kind of didn't. I don't know. I mean, Bray's, like I said, Bray's not even on TV. Hey, Yoda date. Born 2001. Yeah, cool. I didn't experience the 90s. Yeah. Well, you missed a lot. Dave, I'm older than everyone. Psh. What would you say NWA's best venue back in the day was? It's an interesting question. Hard to go with. I love Chicago. Love Chicago. AJ Envoy, 70s and 80s was EC from a conservative socio-political view. SmackDown should have won a couple of matches. Well, I view that as me constantly saying when somebody who I think is not in the chat anymore, Albert, says that, why doesn't SmackDown get better viewers? Because I keep saying they're promoting the show less. They promote SmackDown like garbage. Survivor Series finally proved that, definitely proves that I'm 100% right about that. How old are you, Death Gun? 2019. If you were born 2019, yes, that would make you the youngest, I assume. Because it hasn't happened yet. I have an idea for a video. What would wrestling look like if they were regulated and had a real governing body that prevented stealing talent, blocking venues, and so forth? Interesting. I hear you. It just happens in cycles. We see what happens. Yeah. Are you a Zennial? Oh, that's the term, the Zennial? By yourself, huh? Yeah, oh yeah. Whole place all to myself. I am 37 years old. 22. SmackDown was better than Raw. Mostly. And even in the original brand split, I like SmackDown better than Raw. However, the Jinder Mahal time period, Social Injustice Warrior, you're a 12-year-old, huh? You look older. Spence doesn't want that. Boomer Dave. A raw reflex remembers 37. Ignore the beard. Hey, Merritt. I did not know we were that close in age. I like Billy Gunn's song. Okay. Man, I miss SmackDown 6 era. Yeah, if Andy was here, Andy would probably be the youngest. I am 1991's kid. 1991 had a kid? Last thing, do you think Pillman would have been just as over as top guy in WWE? Yeah, and if he didn't get hurt, I think he was. I think Austin and him in the main event. Like I think Austin's main event, one of the top challengers would have been Pillman for sure. Yelling at clouds, Jenna. Warhawk Rambo. Jim Mahal, a.k.a. News Mahal, was trash. I know George Vince needs to stop. Technically, but keep in mind, generational changes also differ from country to country. Like, did you guys know that Gen X in France was referred to as the whatever generation instead? Dave, your worst tag team? Mine would be the Gemini Twins. Are we talking about from a gimmick, or are we talking about the wrestlers? Because, I mean, gimmick-wise, Deuce and Domino's are pretty high up there for me. Dave, we're the same age. I know. And I've been watching wrestling for 15 years. Yeah. SmackDown needs more matches. More tag matches? Okay, Dave, do you think Undertaker was a main eventer his whole WWE career? Yes. Just about. That guy walked in and you knew it was like something serious. Thanks for answering. Catch you later. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Taps or snap. Check you later. Thank you for being here. How is Harry older than me? I don't know. Yes, local man. He yells at clouds. He made a feud with Hogan. He came in, and the first guy he made contact with, The Undertaker, that is, was Brett. Survivor Series match. He feuded with Hogan the following year, but, you know, he had a pretty good year leading up to that. Who's your favorite heel, Dave? Probably Undertaker. I know that's like, because Undertaker, when he first came out, was like just super monster heel, and it was like, whoa, like everyone be afraid and run, it's the Undertaker. I understand that's a very specific kind of heel, because there's also like the mouthy kind of heel, so that's a different, you know, that's a different breed, but, you know, Undertaker, I thought was like the coolest thing ever. Coolest heel ever. Cesaro and Shemo. Like Lesnar main event. Or close enough. Who is the tag team champions of SmackDown? The Bar. I've been watching wrestling for 35 years. Yeah, longer than most of you guys on here. Watching wrestling, we got about the same amount of time, me and you, George Bryce. Hold this, Jenna. She said we were the same age, but then no, you're not, Double A. SmackDown has made better stars than Raw. I don't know about that, because Sanity is wasting away. Dave, Real Blood siblings. Dave, now you mentioned Deuce and Domino, followed by Deuce and... Oh, plenty more to come, Optimus, I'm sure. I just thought, like, the 50s thing, it's, you know, they were like the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view turned in tag team form. I just didn't get it. I was like, have they lost their minds? Mouthy heel Piper. Yeah, Piper is a pretty... Yeah, Piper would be one of the options, for sure, for me. Argue that with the Taker argument. He was creepy AF when he was in for 40 years. Respect your older tune. Oh, I'm sorry, Double A. 75, but I sleep with... By Scott Steiner math? Sure, Social Injustice Warrior. That's because of Heyman. How does that work, right? That's how that works, right? Well, if that's true, then James Ellsworth might be aiming to become 18 again. Had to make the joke. It was right there. I think I'm the youngest in here. I got into wrestling 2 years ago. Oh, so in wrestling years, you're only 2. All right. Well, I mean, hey, I know people like Roarhog Rambo. You're not the only one. I know people who like Deuce and Domino. I just didn't get it. It's the same birthday as you, Jenna. Successful blood sibling tag teams in wrestling history. Oh, the Hardys? Dudleys don't count, right? Hey, Rio Willis Jones. Undertaker first came into WWE scared. Yeah, that's the thing. He scared little kids. He made little kids cry when the lights came out, and it's like, oh, it was like nothing like it before. It was just perfect. And I still see you as a friend. I thought you said you were my elder. So the Hardy Boys gained more popularity. Yeah. Alexander would have been over in WWE. Just yeah, let's go. Oh, that's Scott Steiner. Cool. I'm assuming month and date, but not year. I got wrestling 2006 SmackDown. 2006 SmackDown was pretty good. You have to excuse me. Oh. Okay. I wasn't making the kids cry. I was saying Undertaker was making kids cry. That's why he's a bad guy. I wasn't saying I was doing that. We're insanely athletic. I never once... Yeah, you know what's funny? There was now this was a while ago, but I had a guest on the show, Luke Jackson, awesome dude. He was on the show. He knows he's a big amateur wrestling guy, and he was giving me insight on the Steiner brothers and their amateur wrestling career and the dirty things they allegedly did in Michigan. So also, I mean, I don't, and also Rick is the other part of the equation. Now we're also because the way I say the Hardys because both of them have been bona fide, main eventers. Maybe not both in the WWE, but throughout their careers, they've changed with the times, from the broken stuff to the Team Extreme, also as singles careers, but even as just tag teams themselves, even if we're not counting their single stuff, talking as a tag team, they've won it all over the place. Like, the Young Bucks, they've won more than the Young Bucks, so heel turn will go for the long run. I think it will go on for a long run just because they have a lack of heels, but I don't think it'll be good. Cody's that awesome. Wish your sister a happy belated birthday for Halloween, baby. SR is not the guy. Seth Rollins is not the guy. Yeah, he puts on great matches, but he's not the guy. But yeah, so I heard things about the Steiners on that episode, which I thought was very insightful and interesting. I think little kids were not the only ones that were scared of The Undertaker. I was growing. Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. There's a lot of adults that were scared of The Undertaker, too. Dudley Brothers. Oh, yeah, you're right. The best blood brothers are the Dudley Brothers. How could I forget? But they're like half siblings, so I don't know if that counts, right? Oh, no, I like the Steiners a lot. I'm a big Steiners fan, so don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to say anything bad about the Steiners. I may be one of the few kids whose eyes light up when they saw The Undertaker debut at Survivor Series. No, yeah, no, I mean, if I was a heel, I would make babies cry. How? Like, just go over and flick them? Like, what do you mean by you would make babies cry? How old is BZ? I don't know. We're around the same age. We talked one time, like, we didn't get into specifics, like, but we were just talking about certain things, and like, you could just tell, like, we're on the phone, and plus, you know, his videos and my videos, like, but just when we're talking, you could just tell we're probably very close in age. Rollins is great until you give him a microphone. But social justice warrior, he's gotten so much better. That's a sad part. Like, in the beginning, he didn't know how to inflect, and it was so horrendous to listen to Seth Rollins talk. So he's got a lot better. Is he good? Okay, no, but he's so much better. Okay, so I'm older than Zayn. Okay, there you go. Old lady's over. Yeah, push old ladies over. There you go. That's insta heat. If you guys are fans of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I feel with today's society, the way a lot of younger people are obsessed with their dogs. If you say you hate dogs, that's insta heat. You don't have to do anything to the dog. Just say you hate them. I think that's insta heat. I think that's the new I hate your local sports team. Like, if there was some guy who really wanted to get over as a heel right now, but not like a crazy, creepy heel, not like a monster heel, but just wanted to be like a smarmy, jerky kind of heel, all he would have to do is just go out there and say, dogs suck, dogs are stupid, that's not your kid. Even though it's as ugly as you are, your dog is not your kid, you're not the dog's mommy, you're a loser. And insta heat, the guy would be he's so over as a heel like that. I think that's really all he has to do. I don't think it takes a lot. The Rollins promo showed, yeah. But remember, Triple H also had to work on his promo, and he got worked with from the man Flair, so it also helps. Did anyone watch all that back in the day? No, I was a little too old for that. I don't like Fortnite for a heel. Tommaso Ciampa is the best heel in WWE. Yeah, Tommaso is the best WWE heel. You could make the argument for Alexa, though. But but Tommaso Ciampa, yeah. Why are young adults today are offended over everything when WWF Attitude Era is beloved by a generation? It seems like counterintuitive. No, you're right, Raymond. That's a good point. I've said it before. I don't think young people are offended by everything. I think the media and businesses perpetuate the idea that young people are offended by everything, but I don't think they really are. I think when you talk to regular people, they don't get offended. They laugh at inappropriate jokes or rude jokes all the time, or they understand things. But the media and business is so afraid that they're going to lose money if they come across even remotely insensitive that they spread this message out there, but I don't think it's true. I do think possibly the younger generation kids now growing up with that in the media might actually become that sensitive. That's a fear of mine. But also, I also talk about the insensitivity to where in this level where we talk about people saying, let's be sensitive to everyone's feelings and needs and all this stuff. But again, looking at the numbers, depression rates are up and so are suicides. So I don't think it's effective. Causation might not equal correlation might not equal causation, but this caring about people's feelings and all that, not doing a great job. The statistics don't show it. Bully Ray is underrated heel in ECW. Oh, absolutely. The Dudleys, I mean, if you want to say in ECW, please call them Bubba Ray. But yeah, I think the Dudleys don't get enough credit. I mean, they get a lot of credit, but man, we're the heels. I'm watching a Courtney Ox show. What? Kel Mitchell should have gotten a better push. The day creative team gets fired, they'll finally give Paul Heyman the main roster. A party for the world to see. That'd be a cool party. No, I mean, unfortunately, that kind of double A. Unfortunately, that happened. That has always happened. But I'm just pointing out that depression diagnosis and suicide rates are up. So if we're trying to care about people's needs and feelings, we're not doing a good enough job. The approach we're doing isn't turning out results. So we need to try something else. Yelling at everybody and saying that you can't be offensive or that's offensive and you're bad and blah, all that stuff isn't working. So let's try something else. When in doubt, try fresh tactics. Friends because we're such good buddies. What? I'm a better wrestler. EJK, that's a tall order. What about wins the U.S. Championship and makes it... That is a pretty solid heel move. A spot on creative, he refused. But I was told he refused because he didn't like the conditions on it. He wants certain things met. He doesn't want a bad run, with creative. Kind of like when they brought ECW back and they gave him, he had a spot on creative, but, his hands are tied on that one. I think he knows what it's like to have creative freedom. That's not really all that free. Jesse and Festus, yeah. I like the mighty Makabe. Dave, have you ever tried to get involved in the wrestling world outside of this channel? Yeah, I work for Capital Wrestling, so yes. I also had worked for, the sad part is, my first wrestling gig ever was for a company, and I don't remember what the company was. That's the worst part. I did one gig with them one time, and I can't even remember the name of the company. I knew a bunch of the boys. Crowbar was there. I knew a bunch of the boys, but I don't even remember the name of the company. It's not aired. It wasn't taped. And I have no idea who they are. Back in the day as well. So it puts way too much pressure on these people these days, and we live in a world that encourages sensitivity. It just messed up all. Zach Rowe, very good point. That's really what I'm saying. Or makes the U.S. title Sony. Yeah, someone wanted a crown jewel and made it into the Sony title. It's the heat. You might be going too far with that, but yeah. Double A, thank you so much. That is very, very kind of you. Thank you so much, Double A. Thank you very much. Very kind of you, buddy. So I hope that banner works out for you. That the new client you got. Hey, what's up, Fresco Flame? What's going on, my man? Reigning Quid. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you to you, Double A. As far as I know, England doesn't celebrate, or the UK doesn't celebrate Thanksgiving, but do you guys have an equivalent? Because it's a nice idea. And happy belated Thanksgiving to you, Frisco Flame. Unpopular opinion. JBL was a good heel. No, I said that on my heel video. Whatever, having old school heels. I thought JBL was a very effective heel for that decade. For his of a 10-year window. JBL might have been the best heel there was in that. Oh, Social Justice Warrior. Thank you so much. He sees Double A's dollar and raises you another. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. They get Boxing Day. Is that what Boxing Day is? Because I have no idea what Boxing Day is. Enjoy the money, senior. Thank you. Thank you, Social Justice Warrior, as well. Thank you, Double A. You guys are amazing. Thank you for all the support. Thank you so much. Yeah, but do you, yes, Double A, but do you guys, have something that's like it? I mean, here's another, let's go off topic, but America doesn't have an official national dish, while a lot of other countries do. And there's debate about what America's national dish should be. And one of the proposed ideas is Thanksgiving dinner, because it seems to be, thank you, Double A, thank you again, follows it up, thank you, you're amazing, you're awesome, thank you so much. So, as far as I know, the Thanksgiving meal doesn't have an equivalent anywhere else in the world, so that's one thing. I just had to buy car pads because my car broke down yesterday. Ooh, sorry to hear that, Frisco. Yeah, car problems, never good. Do you play WWE SmackDown 2009, the MVP John Cena? Yes, I did. I was kind of surprised it didn't happen, truth be told, even Cody Omega. A pound is actually Man, you whipped out that conversion rate fast. Well, either way, I appreciate it. I get the gesture. Hot dog. Where's Hot Dog? I was inspired to become a heel after Michael Cole turned heel in 2011. He needs to turn to the dark side with people like me. Wow. I just checked yes. Okay. Go on. Social Justice Warrior, son. Oh! Thank you so much. Thank you. The $5 American. I earned it with my blood, sweat, and tears. Thank you so much. Those are just as worth $5. It's extremely generous of you. Thank you. Seriously, thank you very much. Briscoe, Boxing Day is just a day where a lot of people are off and spend their Christmas money in sales. It's not something we celebrate, though. Oh. All right, so no, you don't have a Thanksgiving equivalent. Boxing Day sounds like a Black Friday equivalent. Dave, you never asked me about my Thanksgiving. Yeah, I wish you a happy Thanksgiving, but how was yours, Harry? Sorry. And everybody, how was your Thanksgiving? So sorry that Frisco, your Thanksgiving had that, and thank you again, Social Justice Warrior, as well as Double A. Turns out I must be getting hungry because I read that totally wrong. I didn't read Fire Oreo. I'm like, what about Oreos? I was like, I never had a Fire Oreo. Where are they, spicy? That sounds weird. I don't like it. Fire Pro. Okay. Fire Pro. Yeah, well, because that's on PlayStation, I have no need for it. Just like that Spider-Man game. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Frisco, who has also been awesomely generous. Thank you as well. They have healthcare. I trade Thanksgiving for now. How much of the Thanksgiving meal is the reason why? I mean, don't get me wrong. I hear you, Frisco. I'll just cook the dinner myself. Because I really like the meal. I like all the components of the meal together. I like all the stuff. Like, people say about I do make Thanksgiving leftover gimmicks. I don't know. Thank you, Double A, dude. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you early as well. Thank you. Canada has one, but I don't think it's the same thing. David's thank you seriously to Double A and Social Justice Warrior and all you guys for support. But thank you guys for the super chats. That is really, really kind of you, because you don't have to do that, and I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. Thank you so much. But yeah, so the Thanksgiving meal, I do make gimmick dishes based off of the leftovers, but my favorite leftovers is really just repeating the meal again, just eating the same stuff again and just doing it repeatedly. I am getting hungry. This is the longest chat I've done. Fox has started that SmackDown won't have any Raw talent on their roster. Really? Happy Christmas to you. Happy Christmas. I always thought it was interesting. In England, you guys say Happy Christmas, and then in America, we say Merry Christmas. I found that out because of, Harry Potter, because in Harry Potter, they kept saying Happy Christmas. I'm like, why are they saying that? Is that a British thing? Favorite pie to eat? I don't know if this counts. Well, technically speaking, from a technical standpoint, cheesecake is really a pie if you think about it, and if that would be my answer. But if not, and I also don't know if this counts, but I make an apple pie every year, because my friend Sean's wife has pretty much implied that that's what she wants. And now their baby, this year, was able to eat it. She gobbled it up. Anyway, Hostess used to make, I think it was Hostess, used to make this, it was a handheld pie. And it was filled with vanilla pudding, and on the outside it was covered in chocolate. And I don't think they make it anymore, but I used to love the crap out of those things. Frisco! All right, you got me with the Poo-Tang pie preference. All right, you got me. Hey, Dave, would you ever get a tattoo? Absolutely not. No, under no circumstances. Cheesecake is good. Yeah, cheesecake is good. Oh, man. I am totally getting hungry because, this is probably the longest stream, one of the longest streams I've ever done. I have not raw reflex. Don't. Thank you guys, Double A, Social Justice Warrior. Seriously, you guys are too kind. Thank you. Cheesecake is indeed a pie. It is, isn't it? And I really do like cheesecake. I don't know if that's because I'm from New York or not, but I really do like cheesecake. I haven't had cheesecake in mad long. Am I the only one who thought Nexus sucked anyway? No! I did not think that at all. Degenerate, shame on you. No, I did not think the Nexus sucked. I thought they were great. See, the Nexus to me was a great example of guys who are kind of, maybe not ready, maybe didn't have 100% of the look, but they were booked well, so that's all they needed. Tasty cakes mixed up pudding pies. Why do I not see those anywhere? Went 3 hours one time. I did? Oh, okay, never mind. Pumpkin pie and sweet potato pie. I'm not a big fan of either of those. I don't hate them, but I'm like... degenerate, I can never take... Well, Jenna, that is some girl stuff I did. Oh, I talk a teacher from out of nowhere. Thank you, Toma. 2020. Seriously, thank you. That's amazing. I cannot believe you just did that. Thank you, I talk a teacher from out of... thank you so much for that. You guys are making my holiday great, and yes, in case I haven't made it perfectly clear, I am thankful for all of you guys in the Know-It-All Nation, and all of you guys who are here. I seriously am. I know I thank you guys all the time, but no, seriously, thank you for all the views. Thank you for supporting the channel, and we all know, this channel where we are, but I am so happy of the quality of all you guys. Oh, and thank you for the likes, by the way. But I Talk Your Teacher, thank you so much for that. $20, thank you. Seriously, thank you. And buried on the main roster, it's considered a cake because it has flour in it, and it does rise when baked. Double A with $2. Here comes the Shane McMahon double A, dude, double A. Seriously, thank you so much. Okay, I don't know where. Yeah, seriously, I don't know where. You guys are so kind, dude. Awesome. David's having a Black Friday fun. Yes, apparently I am. Thank you so much. I used to work retail like a lot, and because of that, I've hated Black Friday, but not no more. This day's going up pretty good, if you ask me. And double A, you did more than you needed to. Thank you so much for that. Thank you a lot. And again, cannot stress this enough. Thank you, social justice warrior. And yes, thank you, I Talk Your Teacher, again. When you said sing it, it just occurred to me, is there any lyrics to Shane McMahon's song other than Here Comes the Money, 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 Money? Because I don't think I know them. It was like I heard this interview with Chris Jericho where he said he doesn't even know the theme song, the words of his song. He said he hears it all the time, but it's like something about Judas and Priest or something like that. Yeah, are there all the lyrics to that song? Thank you, social justice warrior. Back at you. Thank you, I Talk Your Teacher. Thank you. Is there any style of cheesecake other than New York? Does Chicago-style cheesecake exist? No, they would. We know they have better pizza. Well, Frisco, the thing is, what they have isn't pizza. It's good, but they can't have better pizza because that thing they have isn't pizza. Oh, the guy talking in the background, yeah, but he's like the Little John of that song. He's not like, those aren't lyrics, are they? It's, he's just a, what? Okay, like, that's all he's doing, right? Isn't he just, like, hype manning it? I mean, yeah, I understand there were words, but I didn't count them as lyrics. This is the most thought I've ever put behind Shane McMahon's song. I never even put any of these together. Did my chair fall down or something? There's, my favorite pizza, I'm going to say this right now. It may not be my favorite, but Bleecker Street Pizza has a grandma slice that I really like a lot. Bleecker Street Pizza in the Village. A lot of things. If there's anyone from Brooklyn right now, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get yelled at. I know you're mad because you can't stop me. And I wonder how this play is going to scoop your honey. I think I smell its cologne. It's brand new money making major moves. And the damn thing funny. I'm blown away. That's a Shane McMahon song? What? I've never picked up on that. I'm also really not good at like picking up on I'm musically stupid. I'll be the first one to admit that. When my buddy Duel, who composes the opening theme for Dave Knows Wrestling, when he was here, there's a reason why I had him do it. It's because I don't understand any of this stuff. So I'm also kind of like oblivious to a lot of things like that because I don't understand it. So. Like there was this, I was on a radio show. This was like 10 years ago. I was on a radio show where the host was, a buddy of mine and big wrestling fan, and he would do this thing where he plays wrestling theme songs, and you would have to guess who it was and how many you could get. And it's like I was stomping on other kinds of trivia when we were talking, but when we just do that, all of a sudden I go I go brain dead. And he's this was on the radio, so he's a radio, he's a DJ on the radio, so, clearly he, had it going on. So music was his turf, Hood Rats and Playboy Bunnies, not very PG. That's in that song? No kidding. No, not Dole from New Legacy. Desperately trying to move out of NY to Florida or anywhere upstate, really. Huh. Want to leave? You want to leave? Social justice water gun. Yes, apparently. Have you ever seen Dynamite Kid's last match? New York pizza is flabby, and they give you big slices to get rid of it. Whoa! You're going to wrong. Whoa! Wrong places if that's true. Wrong. Yes, I have had a floppy slice, but no. They don't. No. Not all of them are like that. I guess Shane's theme is grandfather. I guess so. Then again, I didn't know those lyrics were in the song. Heroes of Wrestling was the worst show in history. Crown Jewel for the block. Bliss would choose me before you, Dave. It's because you're such a striking young man. So we got our Mania tickets, Dave. When are we doing shenanigans? Anytime you want. What's your worst theme song? I don't know. It's like there are ones that were bad, but I like Rikishi's heel turn theme. I liked. I don't remember any of the lyrics, but other than oh bad man, I got bad. I don't know why I like that. It was dumb, but I liked it. Just had some awesome pizza. American Males. Oh, American Males theme. It is bad. I know that, but I kind of like it. Chicago pizza. Like I said, Chicago. It's great. It tastes really good. It's not pizza, but it's really good. This pizza, I think, in the UK was in Liverpool. Rob Conway has. China's name is confusing. Are you meeting up with Brian? I would like to. Yeah, absolutely. I would like to meet up. What? I am bad. Do bad things, got bad plans, got bad breath, I'm a bad man, or whatever it was babbling. I thought it worked for him. It's not nothing I bump in my car. It's not like I like it like that. I just thought it worked for him, even though I know it's terrible. My worst song is Brie Mode. Just gonna play that sounds like the guy from Toy Story is singing it. American Males. I know it's bad. See, there's things that I like as wrestling songs, but I don't like them as regular songs. But I'm trying to think of something that was horrible all around. Bad as a wrestling song and bad as a regular song. There's got to be an answer. Chicago has better food than New York in most cases. I don't know where you went to New York. Don't get me wrong. See, here's the thing. I'm not New York, Chicago. I'm not like the feud guy. I love Chicago. Rick Bayless, don't get me wrong, Rick Bayless's spots, Chicago, love them, and it's like that's fine dining, that's affordable, unlike New York, where the prices are ridiculous. If you're in Chicago and you want good stuff and you want like fine dining or finer dining place, go to Frontera Grill, for sure. It's Rick Bayless all the way, man. That's like the one. That's like the one major get that Chicago has over New York is that you guys got Rick Bayless. But in terms of like regular stuff, that hot dog is terrible, man. The Chicago dog. I'm sorry, it's just no. Rob Conway is the answer. Anything that is just noise, like. Right to censor. Okay, here's another one. Like Scott Steiner's like WCW solo run theme where it was just the siren and drums. It's dumb, but I kind of like it. Why? Once again, don't know. It was lame, but it fits a surfer guy. A guy coming down in like bright neon colors and face paint. Yeah, it's lame, but it fits that guy. Yeah, I'm just saying it's very plain. I'm just saying I like Scott's theme too. I'm just saying it was very plain, and yet somehow it worked. It was just a siren and drums. Like anybody could do that. Steiner Rise was cheesy, but again, it kind of worked for the time, I think. Like even though I didn't like the gimmick, but all of Kid Rock and Limp Bizkit for Undertaker, I didn't like it. I mean, I like it, but I don't like it. It's like I like it, but I don't like that it wasn't the real Undertaker. So, are you gonna make a Discord? I said I would like to. Ass man, yeah. I thought about Billy Gunn, but again, it was funny and it worked for him. Like it made me laugh, like as dumb as it was. Every kind. The best surprises always sneak up from. There's got to be a song that just irritated me and I hated it every time. I know there's an answer. There is somebody like I'm like mute every time that guy came out, and I can't think of what it is. See, it's funny. Like the social, just like the Billy Gunn song is funny. It's stupid, but it's funny. Billy and Chuck's theme was irritating. It was funny for the tag team, but like it was irritating. But yeah, Mark Henry. Which one? Somebody gonna. So I looked at Shane's theme uploaded by. Still have no kidding. You really like this song, huh? It's boss time. It was funny. You're right about that. Yeah. Hey, Jesus. Dave, you think it'll replace Braun? I don't know. Drew McIntyre? Just trying to think of someone big at this point. It's that Jesse Festus is not who I'm thinking of. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not good, but NW theme was simple but awesome. Yeah. Ziggler. Oh, there you go. Maybe that's a well. Maybe we got to go to WCW for something. But The Rock, the same. I mean, it was flat, but it was okay. Hey, happy Thanksgiving, Jesus. 10 out of 10. I'm on Kung Fu. Hey, you know what? I'm kind of curious. Let's see. Worst theme songs. Let's see. Help if I was actually typing. Oh. Wrong keyboard. Bastion Booger. Well, he's not supposed to have a good one. Chicago hot dog equals The Rock. New York hot dog equals Chunk Palumbo. Man, dude, that's the Chicago dog is disgusting. Knockoff team. I like Yoshitasu's. Oh, there you go. Maybe I should just say Shawn Michaels. Final opinion. I hate the CFO's themes. I don't think it's unpopular. I think a lot of people will back you up on that. 15 is Kelly Kelly, 14 R-Truth, according to Bleacher Report. Bertha Phase 13, Men on a Mission 12, X Factor 11. Oh, X Factor, the team had a crappy theme. 10 Heidenreich, Oddities. All right, any excuse to bash ICP I'll take. So yeah, there you go. Jimmy Wang Yang, yeah, that's I hate rap in WCW. That I hated that. The Undertaker 2003. Okay. Number 6, Rockabilly. Number 5, Bastion Booger. For T.O. Hopper. Number 3, Isaac Yankum. Number 2, Billy Gunn. Oh, there you go. William Regal, Real Man, was number 1 according to Bleacher Report. What's up, Ridwan? Steven Song is the GOAT. Wait, what was Kelly's? Mike Knox, Rob Conway would be number 1. He wasn't even on the list. I'm not arguing with Rob Conway, but I didn't say that. That's what they said. West Texas the Rednecks. I hated that I hate rap song. How could they, the Badgers? How could they indeed? I'll read another list because as soon as I saw William Regal as the top one, I'm like, oh, some people are going to get mad. So I'll find another list. Wow. Sports Kita. Tio Haber gets it again at number 10 from Sports Kita. He is a real man. It was Rap is Crap, and it's awesome. What? I'm sorry I got the title wrong, but that song was horrible. Jesus, $20. Thank you so much, Jesus. Thank you so much. I just realized how that sounded when I said that. But yes, thank you, Jesus, for the $20 super chat. Seriously, I can't believe how generous you guys are all today. You guys have been super great, super kind, especially Social Injustice Warrior, Double A. Of course, italki teacher, and now Jesus as well. Thank you, Jesus Farrow. Thank you so much for that. It really, really, really does mean so much to me. The fact that you guys decide to give me any kind of generosity at all, I appreciate. So thank you, Jesus. All right, so let's see. Number 9 was Repo Man. Don't remember. Fantasio. I don't even remember. Santa Claus. Well, they are deep cutting on this one. The Kiss Demon. Oh, man, I forgot about that guy. It's the Yeti. He had a theme song? County character should be Benny Hill's theme. Welcome, Merry Christmas, dude. Hey, Merry Christmas to you. The Revo Man Christian solo theme. I like Christian's solo theme, Arthur. Lex and WWF. I like Billy Kid. Is there our worse gimmicks than the Yeti? Maybe. Deuce and Domino. There you go. They made the list. All right, who's next? Laurel Van Ness, Crazy Bride. They didn't like. Okay. Fake Diesel and Fake Razor. See that? Oh, I'm reading worst wrestling gimmicks. Oops. All right, never mind. That plan backfired. And number 1, the worst wrestling gimmick from Sports Kita is Glacier. Yeah, that'd be my bad. Wrestling. Yeah. Sorry, let me try that again. 25 worst wrestling. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'll try it again. Current Man was great. I'm got a Christopher Daniels fan up in there. Laura Vanessa was great. Yeah. Yeah. That's. I wasn't saying that. I was just saying what's reading there. Where's Gimmick Mantar? I did kind of like Carlito. He grew on me. I didn't like him at first, but he grew on me. What? All right, this list is broken because it has Hulk Hogan, Real American. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't. Okay, wait. First one is Randy Orton, Burn in My Light. Number 2 is Ass Man. Heidenreich, Dangerous Politics. That has a name. The Beverly Brothers. That was irritating. And X Factor. Yeah, X Factor. Okay. Carlton was so underrated. I think you mean Carlito, but yes. Glacier is actually my favorite wrestler of all time. I am very surprised that anyone has ever said that sentence before. Dave, worst holiday theme matches? All of them? I mean, the Halloween, the Halloween stuff the WWE does, I think lately is just stupid. Love Randy Savage's old theme, Burn in My Light. It's not what that was the list I was reading. What about Demon, the Kiss for both? No, he was there. He was there. Hulk Hogan's first name, Hulk. Yeah, no, but it said Real American, so I've been noticed. I could never heard. It's just theme over Tony Schiavone and Bobby and Larry's Biscuit Company. Hey, they spent a lot of money on that, right? They had to type it up. I didn't ban you. What's worse? Current White gimmick. The Current White gimmick, I know it gets a lot of static, and I'm not saying it was good, and I'm not saying it was a good use of Chavo Guerrero, but I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. Because people talk about him like betraying his heritage and all that. That's not what he was doing. Like the thing was, he was making fun of that. He wasn't trying to be something he's not. He was like yeah, okay, fine, he was acting that way, but the gimmick was that he was acting like he was that. Like I thought it was more insulting to white people than anything else because it was him making fun of white people. You know, I don't think you were supposed to take it seriously as he was trying to pretend like he wasn't Mexican. Like, I don't think that was the thing at all. Like, it didn't play out long enough. And don't get me wrong, again, I'm glad it went away. I'm not saying it was good, but you know, I think a lot of people, when they talk about it, they said this was making him spit in the face of his family and his heritage. I'm like, that's not what they're doing at all. I'm like, I just thought it was him making fun of white people. I thought it was racist for that reason, not for the other reason. What up, Match? That is, again, that goes into another one that I think is dumb, but I say it, but I do say that. Like, I've said it all live streams just in passing, and I said, like, when I met Gorgeous George a couple of months ago, I said it too. Like, I can't help, what, I can't defend it, I really can't. I mean, I just do it. Right, and I keep the African Dream star. Yeah, like, yeah, again, awful. Cannot stress that enough, awful, but Akeem the African Dream, that's another one. That's, like, is that awful? Yeah, it's making fun of black people. Like, that's, you know, it's making fun of Africans. That's what that was. It wasn't that, you know, people weren't saying, One Man Gang is portraying his roots. Nobody was criticizing that for that. It's racist. I'm not saying it isn't. It just, you know, it was dumb, but it worked for a time and for Macho. What up, Macho? Yeah, see, it's, that opening is catchier than it should be. Kind of like Jeff Jarrett's knockoff Kid Rock song, you know. I like that. I don't know how the rest of the song goes, but got my attention. Yeah, the Frisco Flame Plus. If that happened, it makes me throw up. Toaster Trophy. It's a dumb gimmick, but there are worse. You know, the Chaz's gimmick, you know, the Leave It to Cleavage. I mean, we at least have to put that in the conversation. Yeah, the Chosen One song, yeah. I remember when Slick was on Raw and said that he was getting paid in yard. Yeah, yeah. We are for now. Well, it wasn't making fun of black people so much as it was a rip on Dust. No, that's yeah. I mean, but maybe indirectly, but it's still doing it. It's still making fun, you know, of the thing. Of course you do, Harry. What about Tony Atlas as a black? Are you talking about when he was Saba Sim, or I think was the gimmick? Yeah, beaver cleavage is definitely like incest. I mean, what? Why is that a gimmick? Like, there's certain things that don't need to be gimmicks. Like okay, Nails was a convict. Okay, that makes sense as a wrestling gimmick. Paul Burchill was a pirate. All right, I didn't like it, but for some reason that kind of makes sense as a gimmick for wrestling. Why? I don't know. But Leave It to Beaver. I guess I really don't like 50s style things, but Leave It to Beaver and incest. That should not be a gimmick. Like that. What made you think this needed to be a wrestling gimmick? Like that just Saba Simba. Yeah, that was. Are you talking about that, or are you just talking about Tony Atlas? It's amazing how many of you guys lit up when I said Tony Atlas's other gimmick. It's like I can't, like, enough of you guys remember this. That's, I don't know if that's good or bad, but yeah. The pirate made very little sense, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't say it made a lot of sense, and once again, I didn't say I liked it, but I don't know why I get that. Like, okay, you know, the Osirian portal, they got an Egyptian gimmick. Okay, I understand that. I get it, you know. Good for you. I don't know why I understand it. I just think it makes sense for wrestling. There's a bunch of wrestling gimmicks where it's like I will defend it and say I get why this belongs here. By the way, Tony Atlas is super into feet. Did not know that. That's bad gimmick. I don't think Doink was bad. Like, you know, some people say, like, it was a guilty pleasure or bad at the time. I don't think there's anything wrong with Doink at all. Unless you're one of those people that are afraid of clowns. Then I understand if you hate it. I lead the live chat to chaos. So it was Doink was only crazy. Yeah, I like Doink, period. Yeah. Should we leave the heel today? No, I don't think there's a heel today. Actually, Tony pays women to stomp on his face. Ow! That sounds painful. But I guess if you're Tony Atlas, you're a pretty tough dude, so I guess it doesn't affect you as much. Doink was better as heel. I mean, I can see that, don't get me wrong, but I like Doink, period. Worst wrestling promotion? I'm not going there. Weird rumor about the Bellas. I'm sorry to hear that. How do you know that? Tony's very open. I wish we got that here. But it's wonderfully. Let's get feet. Aye. Yeah, I am very much not a feet guy. Feet are gross. For me, I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. And just for me, no. Yeah. Vince McMahon. Mad TV did a version of it. I wish I screen capped it. Because like the screen I'm looking at is on a delay from like my reactions on the camera, so I saw when I shuddered, I was like, man, I really look skeeved out. So I know it. I hear you on that one. My thing is, I mean, I talked about this on a previous stream, but it's like there's certain I don't want to know certain things about certain people. You know, I mean, like some people say that some people say that men don't share enough. I don't. Some people say that, but like my best friends, I don't know their deals, like what they're into, like sexually, and I don't want to know. It's like they don't know anything about me, and they know some. I have one friend that I'm more open with than the other. Like my one friend Sean, and it's also different too because he's married. I don't want to know anything because I know his wife and I'm friends with his wife. I'm like, I don't want to know what you two do. Like they got a baby. I'm like, I don't want to know what you guys did to make this kid happen. I'm just glad I'm just glad the kid happened. But just no, I don't need to know this stuff. I won't be able to. And especially if you certain people are older than me by a significant chunk, like I don't want to know what they're into. Like if I view you as if you're a senior citizen, I believe that senior citizens have never had sex. That's how my brain works, and I don't want to know. And like a lot of my friends, I got one friend who tells me when I say he's more open, it's not that he's more open, not that we exchange a dialogue. It's just he tells me things, and I tell him, dude, you're sick. Shut up. I don't want to know about this. Actually, I got a couple of friends who do that. That will tell me things that I don't want to know. Raven from Dave Knows Wrestling. Raven from Team. Wait, what are we talking about? When did everyone on the list your weird? Okay, social justice warrior. The weirdest one, Hulk Hogan's ex-wife Linda. Dance the bump with. That is odd. Someone else has mentioned forums to me lately. But a very specific. Wait, he talks about his girlfriend and Googles her? If it's his girlfriend, why does he Google her? And he just go chill with her? Ah, Jenna! Jeez! Ah! Why? Because they just don't care anymore? They hit a point where just oh man, that's disgusting. Old people herpes is even more gross than regular herpes. Or that Nick has. Don't feed the animals, EJK. Don't. He doesn't need encouragement. Ah. G-string. I'm not. See, that's the other thing. I've never seen the Hogan sex tape, and I don't want to. I'm not interested. I'm not. No, because I can't. You can't unsee that. It's Hulk Hogan. He's the real American hero. Forget about Terry Bollea, the person. I'm talking about Hulk Hogan. That guy on the WWF screen. That's the only guy I choose to acknowledge. I'm not king shaming. Everyone's allowed to be into what they're into. Within reason, there are certain things that you shouldn't do. Like if you're we know what those things that you're not supposed to be into are. Yes, I do remember when Brooke Hogan was in TNA. Well, as Frisco said, I took the money, so I guess I'm going to have to deal with this because I was planning on leaving the chat, but I guess I need to sit here and suck this up for a while so you guys can at least get the reaction out of me. I'm gonna be, what did Cody Omega say? Here's my go-to. Herman is a caretaker senior citizen. The guy moved in. Ew. Ew. I'm into no people. Into no people sexuality? I don't understand what that means. Yeah, well, yes. Yeah, Frisco, that's one of those things that you're not supposed to do. Frisco, that's definitely one of them. You're being tortured on live stream. That's my Luke. Well, I'm glad I could help, buddy. But this is turning into a different kind of webcam show now. Yeah, I'm on a different kind of. I think. You'd put your feet up your nose if Alexa. No. Hang out with only girls, and we are all open to talk about it. Oh, rock on. Dave, take off the jacket. What are your thoughts on the possible future of bookkeeping? Yeah, Joshua, way to bring it back. Thank you. Yeah, wrestling. Well, I think when she gets, I think it is going to be the horsewomen versus horsewomen. I'm looking forward to that. And I wouldn't mind if they just embrace that this new version of Becky Lynch is tough and badass, but she's still a good guy. She's still a face. There's Lana, my wife, and Nikki Bella. What, Nikki Bella be your maid? That's odd. Sure, Alexa has nice feet. Feet are all feet. Thank you, EJK. I have a few friends doing custom matches soon. One of these days, I'm going to order a custom match that is beat for beat 7. Ooh, cool! I like it. Hey, Dave25. Dave turned down the lights, put on a disco ball. The disco ball I didn't see coming. No, I like an audience. Who would you say your top 10 world champions of the 90s are? Hard to say, but thank you guys for pulling this back. See, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Day 25. I don't think Roman Reigns is physically incapable of wrestling. I think he just needs time to heal and be with his family, and take care of what he's got to take care of. And go through things. I don't think that, I think if he had a match, he's physically capable of going through it. I think he needs his thing. Yeah, Rob Reflex, that's where I'm at. But top 10 championships during the 90s, let's go with Stone Cold Steve Austin, Bret Hart, Hulk Hogan. I'm spitting these out. These may not be in order. Sting, Flair. Shane Douglas, Taz. I can't put them up there. I want to put the Undertaker, but I can't. I need 3 more. Yeah, I guess The Rock. 2 more. Oh yeah, Mick Foley. Durr. I don't know why I forgot how I forgot him. And 1 more. I want to put Taker on there. I really do, but I can't. The reason I can't put Taker on there is because I don't think he had a really good run in the 90s. There is someone I'm missing. Who am I dogging from the 90s? Maybe Sabu. Fortune. Dave, imagine you, Nicole Bass in China. No, I would not. Did you ever hear that Vince McMahon's version? I'm sure that would scar me for life. Yeah, you can make the. Yeah, I guess I would have to say go. I mean, it depends on what you mean by top 10. Like, do you mean like my biggest ones or? Because here's the thing. I mean, Goldberg's streak was the thing. Goldberg only had the belt for a couple of months. Like, he lost it in December. He got it in July, and then I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not a terrible run, but it wasn't really that long. And he didn't beat it. I mean, I know he's a big star. But I don't know. What did he like? His run was, there's the DDP match. He had a couple of matches in there. Double A, thank you for an extra 2. Thank you. Yes, you're right. Every little bit helps. It does help. It really does. Thank you for helping this channel keep going. No, I'm not imagining that, Harry Flynn. Stop it. Thank you, Double A. Very supportive. You the man. Undertaker was a match. One more champion from the 90s. Who am I forgetting? Well, I guess I should just say Undertaker had. Yeah, no, I said Sting for sure. I feel like there's a. Because, like, Macho, no. Once again, I thought Shawn Michaels' main event runs with the belt were terrible. I thought they were absolutely awful. Like, they didn't do well. The company didn't do well at the time. I can't put them on there. Like, Kevin Nash, same thing. Like, Diesel. I can't say Diesel either. It was, like, not a good time for the company. I'm looking from, like, how did it do for the company? How was the run itself? Like, how was the quality of the matches? How was it, how long was it? Stuff like that. Oh, I definitely said Austin first. What you're listening. Champions of the 90s, top 10 world champions of the 90s. RVD wasn't a champion in the 90s. That is absolutely correct. Stone Cold was in the 90s, yeah. And I said him. I said The Rock too, yeah. Dave, don't you think there's any better time to fulfill my suggestion on his promo, Nia Jax? There's someone else that's kind of, I think, a little more there, but don't get me wrong, I understand. There's someone else that's getting it instead, if I can ever make that video. Personally, I think Goldberg should have lost the first time against Bret. Dude, I totally called that. Like, when I said, when Bret was signed in WCW, I said, yo, Bret's going to be the one to break the streak. I thought the same thing. See, here's my thing. Like, WWE having gay champion, like, Becky Lynch was talking about this, and I said, yeah, I agree too. Like, wrestling has always been, well, I shouldn't say always and not everywhere, but wrestling is an understanding, has always been very, progressive in that aspect. And, I look at, unfortunately, he got released. I don't know why he got released, and I get that Titus does a lot of charity work, but how Darren Young got released and Titus O'Neil is still there is confusing to me. But, like, Darren Young, it's not about being gay or straight. It's just about wrestling, and it's about qualitative. So, and wrestling has always kind of understood that. Pat Patterson has a lot of, he's the first Intercontinental Champion, and they praise him for that. But, so, and he's gay, so there's that already. So the first Intercontinental Champion of all time was gay, or is gay, shall I say, and that's out there. And what I like about it is, and I think, and I'll just speak for myself, but in terms of being a minority of any kind, you don't like your minority being, why your particular trait being focused on or being asked a million questions about or being highlighted. You don't like people just pointing at you and saying you're different, even if they're meaning well by it. So what I like about the way wrestling, and again, I know wrestling has done some bad things too. I'm not trying to say that they haven't, but wrestling as a whole has been good at being able to, at least backstage, being very, progressive with that aspect and knowing how to incorporate it into the right fold. So I think, of course I think it would happen. I think it's kind of surprising it hasn't happened already, but I mean, WWE hasn't, we still haven't had, we have The Rock, but the WWE Championship, not the world title, but like WWE Champion, we have yet, other than The Rock, we have yet to have a black champion. So, maybe WWE is not quite as progressive as they could be. So I'm not trying to say they're 100% there. I'm just trying to say is they're surprisingly more progressive in certain areas. But it was a pleasure. Oh, thank you so much, EJK. I didn't know you had to leave, but good. Dave, I'm a giraffe, and I'm sub to you. Thank you. Awesome. I don't know what... I assume you don't mean a real giraffe. I think that's slang that I don't grasp. It's incredible how WCW messed up with Brett. Yeah, a Velveteen Dream for like WWE champion. Awesome. Would be nice. One of the top custom companies, Click Wrestle. Shout out to Click Wrestle. I hear that Kenny Omega is bisexual. And see, it's like the wrestling comes first, which I think is cool. Love your videos, dude. Watching my first stream of yours. Hey, well, welcome. Welcome to the Know It All Nation. Thank you so much for being here. Mehmet. They even have a pivot share now. I don't know what a pivot share is. Same name could be... Stop it, Harry Flynn! Squashing my dreams! Well, thank you, Double A. Dream is great. Vince will ruin him. I hope he doesn't. I really don't. You really don't. What about AJ's questionable moments? Eh? What questionable? Wait, which AJ and which questionable moments? The thing in TNA with the, what about Tommy Dreamer for champ of the 90s? No, absolutely not. What about it, Devin? What about the gay community, Devin? Oh, no, that... Stop it, Double A. That will never happen. Alexa Bliss has good taste. She likes Shake Shack. Yeah, he does wish. Just insane. Did I miss something? I do not know what you guys are talking about. Degenerate, I think if they were going to do it for Bobby, they would. That ship has sailed. I don't think that's like. I mean, maybe they will, but I don't know. Yeah, I do not recall this. No, I haven't. They're not like Ultimate Warrior bad, are they? Yeah, allegedly he turned it down and just is working with Ronda. But I think, from what I was told, he turned it down because he wanted specific things, and if he doesn't get it, that's his thing. No, Harry Flynn. Alexa Bliss's favorite wrestler is Alexa Bliss. No thumbs down. Like I said, hope you had a good... I hope you did too, Eric Turner. Like I said, I'm not trying to say that they haven't had some like glaringly bad spots too, but they have. But my thing is, and also, I don't like this whole stigma that people believe that Christians are all homophobic, because that is definitely not true, and that's ridiculous to say it. There's a lot of things again polarizing that people feel that isn't true. Are there some? Yes. I'm not trying to say there aren't, but it's not like a universal thing. Warrior. There's nothing one alive who could comprehend my sexual. All right, Fresco, there you go. AJ was asked how he felt about being popular in the gay community, and he reacted badly. Oh. See, I don't know. Anybody, like, well, how is AJ... Well, here's my question. I mean, for me, yeah, I'm not, okay, I did not know that was his reaction, but for me, here's the thing. Like, how is he popular in the gay community? Because for me, if that was the case for me, and it's from an attractive side, I'm like, okay, people think I'm attractive. I'm not going to complain about that. It's a compliment. You don't have to feel the same way, but it's not a bad, you don't have to feel the same way, but it's not a bad thing if people find you attractive. Take it for what it is. And if I'm AJ Styles, with that soccer mom haircut, he's kind of lucky that people find him attractive, is all I'm saying, It's not pretty. I think it looks better now that it's longer, but when it was like here, when Jericho called him out on it, it looked ridiculous. Like, I don't care who you are, it looked stupid. It's the hair. I hated the hair. I hated the hair. Buy my t-shirts. There you go. Yeah, I don't care who you are or what you are. Just buy my t-shirts. All right. I would hate if men... I don't know. Because it happens to me. And then you pull... Way to go, Frisco Flame. Yeah, check out those t-shirts. Nice. It happens to me. It happens to me a lot. There are people I know who are gay, and they tell me they find me attractive, and I'm very complimented by it. Nothing's going to happen from it, but, and it's not a bad thing. And, but it also happens a lot of ways. There are women who find me attractive that I'm not attracted to, that I'm still flattered by it. Yeah, Warrior, man, that's my question. I was like, okay, was it Warrior, I didn't know that about AJ Styles, but I was like, it wasn't Warrior bad, was it? Because, that was something. All right, Social Justice Warrior, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for being here. And thank you for everything. The only thing is, I don't think it's awkward at all. I'm like, all right, rock on, I had a coworker here, he doesn't work here anymore, but he told me straight up that he was attracted to me. Okay, he didn't straight up tell me, but he hinted at it, and I knew he was into me. I was like, all right, it's like, rock on. And he never made a move on me or anything like that, but he inferred that, and I was like, when we were talking about stuff, and it's like, that Lesnar Angle kiss thing, I just want to know, why is Lesnar's deal, kissing? Because, didn't he say that to Jericho, too? He's like, you better, hit me or kiss me or whatever. What's... why... I don't understand it, because I'm like, why is it one extreme or the other? Why are those your options? So that's what I mean by, I don't get it. I don't know what he's doing with that whole thing, but it's just seems like, I'm like, wait, because when I heard that about... Because I knew about the Kurt Angle thing, but then when it was the Jericho thing, it's like, you better hit me or kiss me. I was like, that's what you say in that situation? I'm like, I thought there were other options. I'm like, so I just don't understand why he boils it down to those two things. That I don't get. Exactly. Yeah, I'll take any compliment I could get at this point. Lesnar Angle. Dave, if it was me, I'd be... Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Does Lesnar actually know the English language? Yeah, there's a question. Kiss you or kick you? Those are your options. I'm sorry, kiss or kick. But yeah, I just what? If some guy's mad at me and goes, "Hey man, did you just bust a forearm? Did you just hard way open my friend and bust him open like that? You better kick me or kiss me." I was like, "Wait, what? What? Answer the question." What? It seems like an odd thing. Also, Dave, thoughts on my new logo? I don't see a new logo. Where's commenting? Yeah, that is not how that comes across, Tim Castillo. That's what he says he meant, but... That is not... First of all, that's, that's a loaded statement, but Tim Castillo is just that's what he says he meant, but I don't think that's what he meant. I mean, maybe he did, I don't know, but yeah. I ain't doing neither. Who do you like the most, Brock or... Oh, no, I definitely like Brock Lesnar more than Shawn Michaels. Your little icon logo thingy here looks exactly the same. That's like that Kevin Hart thing where you were just... say, you catch a man with your girl, do you fight him? Well, if you say yes, you're not thinking about this. Fighting a guy completely naked is different because you can't lose that match. Do you think WWE ever hires Sonny Kiss? Hopefully. Sonny Kiss, awesome dude. Shout out to Sonny Kiss. Oh, I'm sure Frisco, that could definitely work. I can say how he meant it. Yeah, that was the other thing. Like, I haven't found. Yeah, see here. That it also depends on what you're talking about because. See, here's the thing. I was told he said something about Heath Ledger, and I have yet to see anyone else say that or find it again. So I don't know. Maybe he didn't say it, but I heard he said something about Heath Ledger after he died, and I was like, that is messed up. Like that. Maybe he didn't say it. Maybe I was told wrong, but I was told he said something. Oh, Baron Corbin. Instead of Shawn Michaels. But yeah, I was told, so it depends on which, apparently there's a lot of comments to choose from. But the comments I was referring to was the Heath Ledger thing, because, I mean, like, the dude just died, so I don't know if that's what, Defcon, I've gone over this plenty of times. His particular brand of backstage politicking I thought was awful. I thought he was a low-grossing champion. I think he has a limited moveset. I don't like him as a person. He kept a lot of wrestlers down that I like, from RVD on, from RVD to CM Punk. I mean, I could keep going and going and going. Plenty of reasons. Hey, Paul, say something stupid. Just let them be. Joker face paint is great. He insinuated that he Ledger. Yeah, he did say that. Okay, I thought he said that. I wasn't sure. I've never found anything saying. I've looked for it too. I've never seen him say anything else ever again. But yeah, look. Yeah, like that was the thing that really skeeved me out. Is like saying that Heath Ledger, the dude just died. I mean, man, come on, really? Who remembers? I mean, I never saw Brokeback Mountain. I'm just saying, like. The guy just died. It's like, give him a break. Like, really? Dave, favorite Christmas movie? Shows as a kid. Die Hard. There is no Dana, only Zool. Like Peach Machine and Mikey or different Peach ones. Dave, you celebrate Christmas this year, or are you working? I am celebrating Christmas. Oh, well, the kayfabe working, but no. Celebrating as always. It's Impact Wrestling. What are your thoughts about the... Oh, I thought it was awful, Defcon. I thought it was terrible. Of course it was terrible. CM Punk gave this interview where, he said that not only, he has mentioned previously that Triple H just never liked him for whatever reason. Right from the bat, he never liked him. But he also mentioned how Shawn Michaels backstage was always talking about, with Triple H, that they never liked him, that they wanted to hold him back. CM Punk gave a pretty solid interview talking about how Shawn Michaels behind the scenes was a very big part of why CM Punk didn't get pushed until later. He says, we'll never accept Die Hard as a Christmas movie, and neither will I. Well, I do. When Brock Lesnar says something stupid, it's all part of the plan. Yeah, the whole hero. Home Alone's an option. It's a Wonderful Life. It was overrated. What if a live gimmick now? Do you care? It's from Beach Bones. Alright, guys. Thank you for the thumbs up. And special thank you to Italki Teacher, Double A, Social Injustice Warrior, and Jesus Ferro. Thank you so much for all of the super chats. Very, very generous of you. Thank you for being here on the super long live stream. It was a lot of fun. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed your holiday if you celebrate it, and if you don't, still hope you enjoyed your time anyway. And again, thank you to Social Justice Warrior, Jesus Ferro. Thank you to Double A, and thank you to Italki Teacher for being here. And thank you for all you guys for watching, and thank you for the thumbs up. And as always, Dave